wide receiver from Miami, number 3, Jason Gathers.
Rules of the game brought to you by Napa. Napa know-how. 8 players per side on the field. Players may be offense or defense. The clock runs non-stop until the final minute of each half. No punting. No stunning or twisting. One receiver may move in forward motion before the snap. Rebounds off the net are allowed. Players can be tackled into the wall. And that's the rules of the game brought to you by Napa. Napa know-how.
Numbers for tonight's game are presented by the Dyson High School Junior ROTC. Now to honor America, the Rattlers ask that you please rise and please remove your hat as we present the playing of our national anthem performed for you this evening by Jennifer Franz.
A lovely rendition of the national anthem, and we are getting closer to kickoff here at the U.S. Airways Center, also known as the Snake Pit to all of you arena football fans out there. And before we get this one kicked off, let's get you caught up on what else is happening around the league.
What's happening?
Last night, Spokane took care of Philadelphia 75-54 up in Death Valley. Cleveland has knocked off Georgia 62-48. Tampa leads Pittsburgh 55-48 with about 9.5 minutes to go there. Milwaukee and Kansas City are playing a low-scoring game, 31-24, start of the fourth quarter there. How about this one? Tulsa up 54-39 on Utah midway through the third quarter. And the other game we're watching right now, Jacksonville and Orlando. Sharks lead the Predators by 7, 61-54 midway through the fourth quarter there. An Orlando win, coupled with an Arizona win, would put the Rattlers back in the driver's seat to be the number 1 seed overall in the league and potentially host Arena Bowl 24 in the middle of August.
I don't want to travel anymore.
I'm clicking my heels 3 times. You just can't see my ruby red slippers, folks. There's no place like home. There's no place like home. There is no place like home.
And speaking of no place like home, the fans are still streaming in the Snake Pit this evening, so looks like it'll be a pretty good crowd. We got folks up there on the upper deck, and can't ready to get this party started.
Right you are. So, that's what's going on around the league. Well, that's about all we got right now till we get this one kicked off. But Interesting note I mentioned the pregame show, Iowa has gone through 5 kickers this season.
5?
5.
We've only gone through 2.
2. But the kicker right now is Nick Pertwee. And Pertwee seems to be the right guy for the job for the Barnstormers. And he's actually shown a pretty good leg in warm-ups. Fabricio Scotch has also been hitting some bombs in warm-ups too. So the kicking game should be a little bit tighter for both teams. But Iowa has had some suspect tries on those extra points this year. The Barnstormers so far have missed 24 PATs this season. That's a lot of points to leave on the table.
It was kind of funny watching Scotch in warm-ups because they were trying to practice drills kicking from like the 5-yard line to the opposite end zone. Actually, they were practicing getting the ball off the net. And what happened is Scotch has kept on kicking field goals, and this is all the way from the other end of the opposite end of the field.
Yeah, he has been hitting some pretty deep bombs, so interesting to see if that comes into play. But the matchup I'm looking for tonight is Iowa quarterback Brad Banks, who is small, he is quick, he is shifty. He's the league's 4th leading rusher. So Brad Banks versus Arizona Jack linebacker Kevin McCullough.
You know, you talk about Banks. He's listed on the scorecard here at 6 foot, but he looks like he's about 5'9".
Yeah, 212 pounds, which may be a little generous, but if the Rattler defensive line can get a good push, because Iowa's given up a good number of sacks, and get their hands up, they're going to force Banks into trying to throw some awkward passes, could lead to a lot of turnovers, and potentially really ignite this Arizona offense. Iowa, interestingly enough, in their last 4 losses, has allowed more than 70 points in every loss.
70?
70.
Oh my!
That is,
and they weren't really playing great teams, where you're coming up against a.
Well, they had a game against Jacksonville a few weeks ago. They gave up 79 points and lost by 55. So there is potential there for this scoreboard to start seeing some Nintendo numbers put up there. So it's like Iowa's going to get the ball first to start the game.
And I'm sure what Kevin Guy has told his guys already that, you know what, you want to get off to a quick start. He always says that, but it seems like at home they really haven't been able to get off to that real quick start that they want to.
Nope, and that's one of those things that you have to have in this league because it's 60 minutes of high-flying, full-octane, pedal-to-the-metal football in this league, and if you're asleep at the wheel for a few minutes, that can be the difference between a win and a loss.
I'm ready. Are you ready?
I am ready. We have seen the Rattlers have won their last 2 games by a combined 56 points, so they're looking pretty good. Defense looked real sharp against Utah last week in that 5-touchdown win. Virgil Gray returned a field goal for a touchdown, interception return for a touchdown, a net recovery on a kickoff. I mean, there was a lot of different special team and defensive scores that they had. So, you know, you never know where the offense is going to come from with this Arizona Rattler team, and that's what makes them so dangerous. You just don't know.
You're right. You don't know.
You just don't know.
I wouldn't be surprised if they recover a kick right here.
You never know. While we have a moment here, officials for tonight's game. Chris Sneed is your referee. Oscar Shorten, Glenn Fuchik, Brad Rogers, and Lovan Pham are the rest of the officials. And before kickoff, a quick shout-out to the littlest Rattler fan I know. My son, 6 months old today.
You think he's listening?
He will be listening to this eventually. Not right now, but he will be eventually. Had to throw that out there. Your first one is only 6 months old once. You got to do it. All right. Let's get this going. Scotch are ready to kick this off. Back to receive is going to be Tommy Ellingsworth, the kick returner for the Barnstormers. Fans on their feet. It's loud. This is what it should be like.
Let's have fun.
And we are ready to go. Gotcha runs up, kicks it, and away we go. Ellingworth waits for it. Goes through the slack net. It's a live ball in the end zone, and Ellingworth falls on it in the end zone. No attempt to bring it out, so be out to the 5-yard line, and that's where Iowa starts 1st and 10.
It looked like the it wasn't sure the Iowa, the back guy. It almost didn't look like he wasn't sure. Is that a live ball? Is that a dead ball? Well, it almost cost him right away.
Yeah, mental mistakes like that always can find a way to haunt you. So keep an eye on Jesse Schmidt, number 22. He's their big play threat. He is their deep ball threat. Banks will look to pass to him quite a bit, and Schmidt is going to start out towards the top of the screen, not the top receiver against the boards, but the one in the slot. Ellingworth will be the motion man. And here we go. Banks drops back, quick slant left to Ellingworth, gets out to the 10, and is knocked out of bounds to the 13 by Marquise Floyd.
I actually see short passes like that all night on the Iowa.
That's a lot of what I expect too, because people seem to know that Schmidt is going to be the deep guy, and he's going to be covered tightly all night, so we're going to make him dink and dunk and beat him underneath.
Well, I think that's going to be the same end, same side when Windsor comes out also.
So it's enough for a first down there. Banks drops back, fires over the middle, complete to Ellingworth again at the 20, out to midfield, and yet again Floyd bumps him against the boards. 12-yard gain, another first down for Iowa, and the Barnstormers are off and running.
Again, an underneath pass, and just look for those all the way down the field. Look for little screens also coming up.
Schmidt's going to be the motion man. Banks drops back, quick screen out to McCown. McCown gets about 2 yards, and then he runs into Vince Hill, and that's going to be all he gets.
Did I just say something about a screen?
You sure did. Good to see we got your crystal ball back out of the shop in time for this game.
Yes, I do. I have them.
So 2nd and 8 coming up here as the Barnstormers cross over the midfield stripe, get to Arizona territory for the first time tonight. If we keep seeing these short passes, the Arizona corners are going to have to press up instead of giving cushion. Ellingworth, the motion man. Banks drops back, looking left. Scrambles, gets away from the pressure, throws it into the 4th row. And he was getting hurried there by Pittman and Hawthorne.
Oh, yeah. And look for that all night.
And we got a flag at right about midfield.
Yeah, we probably heard that. An illegal defense.
Yep, you
that pushed that to an automatic first down for the Barnstormers.
Winds up putting them at the Arizona 18 as Harrington was caught doing an illegal twist. You can only rush straight ahead, but you start twisting and stunting, the flags start coming out. So 1st and 10 Iowa at the Arizona 18. McCown on the bottom of the screen, Ellingworth is in motion. And
whoa!
Well, we got a whistle there. As,
and who's that?
The question is, did Hawthorne go over too quick? Or did their new center, Paul Fenaroli, get a little too...
It's on the defense.
Encroachment, quick contact, by the defense, number 77. At the 5-yard penalty, still first down.
So 1st and 5 of the 13. After the Rattlers have been hit with 2 consecutive penalties. That was one of those things we saw in that game against Cleveland. The flags came out in force.
You know, I last week, I don't think they had as many penalties, but that's been one of the things with this team that I'm sure that Kevin Guy is probably a little concerned about.
Give inside to Filer. Hawthorne takes him down to the 10, gain of 3.
I thought it was a fumble, but it was actually the Barnstormers' helmet.
And that's one of the unique things about the Barnstormers. They have 2nd and 2 on the Arizona 10 is that they have the gold helmets, and I have to admit, I like the goggles on the helmets. It's a unique look. It's like aviator goggles.
Oh, you can see the guy aviator goggles?
They have aviator goggles on their helmets.
How do you know that? You can't really see that from here, can you?
No, but I've seen pictures before.
Okay.
So 2nd and 2 at the Arizona 10. 3 minutes and 10 seconds gone in the first quarter. Banks dropping back. Looks to the corner of the end zone. Does he have a man? No, it's dropped. Dropped in the corner of the end zone by Marquise Hamilton. And it's going to be 3rd down.
Good play. Good play down there. That's Hill, I believe, that broke that one up.
Yes, it is. So now 3rd and 10. 3rd and 2 from the 10 is what the Barnstormers are facing. Be interesting to see what they call here. They just need a couple more yards to keep this drive, the opening drive of the game going. Banks in a very short squat position. Drops back, plenty of time. Flags down. Throw to the back of the end zone, off the net, incomplete. But we've got multiple flags in 13, and we'll see what the calls are for here.
And again, quarterback Banks winds up on his back. And I think we're going to see it.
Both teams on the play. Illegal defense by Arizona, number 77. Holding by the offense, number 72. No penalties, all set. Replay, third down.
All right, so we'll take third down over again after offsetting penalties. And one quick update to pass along here with 52 seconds left in regulation. Jacksonville 61, Orlando 61.
Wow.
Tie game down there in Orlando.
Well, 52 seconds is like an eternity.
Jinx. Banks takes back, looks left, goes back over the middle. Too high, winds up throwing it into the fans under the stands. Virgil Gray on the coverage there as he went from McCown. And now it's going to be fourth down. What will the Barnstormers do here? Fourth and 2.
They're going to kick a field goal. Kick a field goal.
I don't see a kicker out there. Pertwee is still in the corner.
So I guess they're not going to kick a field goal then.
They're not going to buy a foul either.
Nah, they're not going to kick a field goal.
No, they're going to go for it. So McCown and Schmidt down there at the bottom. This could be a screen to the left.
Yep.
McKinnon in motion.
Watch for
Banks
a run.
drops back. Fires over the middle. That is complete. Caught by McKinnon at the 5. Gets down to the 3. Stood up there, still on his feet. Finally hauled down back at the 5.
But they did get the first down.
It is a first down, and they'll give them forward progress, I believe, to the 3 to gain a 7. And it's going to be first and goal, Iowa.
Well, you've heard me talk about this many times is, if you're going to let the other team score, make it hard for them. This has been how many plays is this right now? How many drives? About 12, 10?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, about a 10-play drive so far to open the game. Consumed 5.5 minutes off the clock. Banks gives it inside to Filer. Did he lose the ball? He fumbled it! Fumbled it, and that is picked up and recovered by Vince Hill.
There we go.
So the handoff is botched. The Rattlers take over on their own 7.
How about that? There we go again. There's their defense.
Vince Hill, dreadlocks and all, is able to find that loose ball.
Let's see if we can see a replay on this and see if Vince Hill actually stripped it away.
Rattler defense comes up big when they need it the most. And no replay.
No replay for you fans out there.
So we're going to have a media timeout. We'll take as well. So we're media. This is Pro Sports Broadcasting on FTTV.
It's free t-shirt time.
Back again in the U.S. Airways Center. No score after the Iowa opening drive marches all the way down to the Arizona 2, and yeah, they fumbled it. Vince Hill recovers a fumble. It's Arizona ball at their own 7-yard line where Nick Davila starts out the night. Davila so far this year, all you really need to know, 71 touchdowns, 7 picks. When that ratio is 10-1, that is awesome.
Well, you know what? We've been talking about this defense all year, haven't we? I mean, and it hasn't stopped. I mean, it hasn't changed. Still a great defense. And watch out now because they get up here. Don't be surprised if you see, what are they at, the 6-yard line?
The 7.
7? How about a bomb to Harvey?
Harvey's not playing.
I mean, not Harvey. I mean
Windsor.
I was thinking Windsor, but,
Yeah.
How about a bomb to Harvey?
That would be a really long throw.
He's probably sitting in the stands somewhere.
But then it would be out of bounds and it wouldn't count. Yeah.
Well, you know him, he could make it happen.
Okay, so Windsor's going to go to the bottom of the screen. Gethers to the top. And here we go. Davila drops back for his pass tonight. Over the middle, got a man. Out to midfield, that's going to be Reed. So Terry Reed winds up getting an 18-yard gain, and the Rattlers are already out to midfield. How's that for efficient?
And it doesn't surprise me that he doesn't go to Windsor right off the bat, because that's the way really that Windsor's been playing this year, or I should say the team has worked him in.
Yeah.
They start bringing him in later.
So it looks like Reed's going to be the replacement for Trandon Harvey. He's the man in motion right now. Davila drops back. Looks over the middle. He's got Windsor down to the 10. Tries to step out of a tackle, but he gets hauled down by the toes down to the 7 of Iowa, and it's another first down.
Just like I said, they won't go to Windsor right away, and here they are, second play of the game. I guess my crystal ball didn't work that time. But
nope.
I'm glad it didn't, and the Rattlers deal with the ball on the 7-yard line of Iowa.
First and goal. Windsor to the bottom, Gethers in the middle. Reed in motion. Pitch to Odie. Here comes the Odie Express. Beep, beep. Going to the end zone. Plowing man over. And he's in.
Yeah.
Touchdown, Arizona.
There is no stopping Odie when he gets going.
Cameron McGlenn of the Iowa Barnstormers just found out the hard way how hard it is to stop the Odie Express.
Oh, yeah.
He couldn't do it. He got dragged back into the end zone.
That was it. I think he got hit.
Second look.
He gets hit about the 3, I think. Yep, there it is. There's
there's McGlenn. Beat, beat, beat. Just
Yep.
pushed right in. Beautiful. 6-0 Arizona. Fabricio Scacci on for the extra point. Midway through the first quarter. Scacci's kick. Dead center. Arizona takes 3 plays to get on the board first. 7-0 Rattlers. 7:22 to go on the first. This is Pro Sports Broadcasting on Nifty TV.
Rattler fans, time to give away some money in the Casino Arizona draw for the Dome Contest. Our contestant tonight standing in midfield is Jason. All right, Jason, 4 different locations on the field you can throw from, each representing a different cash value ranging from $100 to $7,777. Throw a football from one of the locations and hit the Casino Arizona target in the north end zone, and you win that cash. All right, Jason, where are you throwing from? He's going to do it from midfield. That's for $250 in dough. All right, Jason, here you go. Let's cheer him on. He knows what he has to do. Hit that target. And dinner's on him. All right, Jason, when you're ready. On the way. Oh. Okay, the judges say good. Jason, you're a winner. $250. Congratulations. Let's hear it for Jason and thanks to Glass Casino Arizona's throw for the third contest. Casino Arizona, you're only a play away.
And we are back here in Arizona where the Rattlers have a 7-0 lead on the shoulders of the Odie Express as he carried half the Iowa team into the end zone with him. So look out. Woo-hoo! Here comes the Odie Express.
Speaking of a couple other things that are going on right now, Tulsa leading Utah 67-45 in the start of the fourth quarter. Blaze are a pretty good candidate to go to 5-7 with San Jose. After this one, San Jose's on a bye this week. Spokane won, so boy, the Rattlers win. If they can win, they'll have 11 wins. No one else in this division will have more than 5.
Yeah,
wow.
That's incredible. Let's get this Jacksonville score when we can here.
61 all, 26 seconds, or as we like to call it, an eternity to go. So we'll see if the Orlando Predators can do the Rattlers a favor and knock off Jacksonville.
Let's see what Scotcha does. He was really good in practice of hitting the iron.
Eric McCown's going to take his chance back there as a return man for the Iowa Barnstormers. High off the net, McCown gets it, cuts out right to the 5, tries to get around the defender. He does, still running free towards midfield. Scotcha helps take him down, and Riley Swanson with a nice bear hug takedown to the Arizona 15 to save the touchdown.
And that was a great run back for Iowa. And we've seen that a lot with teams being able to take it to the outside, sealing off the middle, and leaving a lane. So that's something that the Rattlers really have to work on.
They do the special teams coverage in this league. If the first guy misses his tackle, it could be disastrous. So Schmidt and McCown are at the bottom. Ellingworth will be the man in motion. Banks drops back, looks left, quick screen to outside Schmidt. Pardon me about that. Got a little tongue-tied there. Gets down to the 3, gain of 12. First goal for the Iowa Barnstormers.
Well, Iowa, because of that long run back, is making some nice headway here.
Okay, so first and goal at the 4. Check that. Jesse Schmidt been their big play target. First catch of the night. And we expect to see several more from him. Marquise Hamilton to the bottom. Schmidt will be in motion. McCown to the top. Banks dropping back, has time to pass. Gets it away, fires back to the end zone. Schmidt got
Touchdown.
it. Touchdown.
That was quick.
4-yard touchdown pass there, and it's 7-6. That's what Jesse Schmidt does best. 33rd touchdown catch of the year. He's got a step ahead of the defender, and that was enough. So Nick Pertwee comes on for the extra point. Backup quarterback Brian Lee Ledusky will be the holder.
And how many kickers have they had this year?
5. Snaps good. Kicks up. Nope. Kapling. Off the iron.
And we had talked about that earlier in practice. We saw this kicker making several field goals, right, in practice. But he wasn't from his PAT line, and I said, you know what? He should practice that.
Yeah. .4 yards per return. With Trandon Harvey being out, we may see more of Virgil Gray running kicks back. And last week he ran back a missed field goal for a touchdown.
Yeah, I can't even imagine running back a field goal. But we've seen Virgil Gray running back before. He's very dangerous.
Jacksonville and Orlando, 68-67. Jacksonville, 7 seconds left. Could Orlando go for 2? Question mark. Pertwee kicks it away. Gray waits. High off the net. Gray fields it cleanly. Running out 5-10. Got a lane. Out
He's got it.
Midfield. Aron Pertwee. There he goes to the 15. Cuts back inside. Cut back across. Virgil Gray all the way.
He got it. Touchdown.
Arizona.
What did we just say? You got to watch out for this guy. This guy is something else.
Flag down at the 5. Flag is down at the 5-yard line, though, so hold on just a second.
But it's a touchdown.
Gray knows it.
It's a touchdown. I'm hoping it's a touchdown.
Nope. It's on Iowa. Decline. Put him on the board.
I hate that cannon.
Hey, every time that goes off, that's 6 points on the board. Virgil Gray, a 55-yard kick 6. And the Rattlers are up 13-6 with Fabricio Scaccia coming on for the extra points. Snaps good, spots good, holds good, kicks good too. 5:02 to go in the first quarter. Arizona.
Yeah, we got a little fisticuffs there.
Yep. All right. Well, that doesn't amount to a whole lot, but
Right.
let's take a break here. 14-6, the Rattlers lead. 5:02 to go in the first. This is Pro Sports Broadcasting on Nifty.
Ninth match now, Red TV for a night round of the Rattlers game post-game autograph session set up. You can still access the field from sections 116 and 124. Your favorite Rattlers players and sidewinders will be signing autographs for 30 minutes at 6 locations on the field. To ensure your safety and those around you, please get out to run on the field and throw footballs. We'll see you after tonight's game for the Rattlers post-game autograph session. Another way we say thanks for being the best fans in arena football.
Back again in the U.S. Airways Center. Arizona leads at 14-6, and we talk about the quick strike offense. There's not one quicker than Virgil Gray. 55-yard kickoff return for the touchdown, and he made several nice moves, slicing and dicing and chopping and hopping through the Iowa defense and found the end zone.
Don't be surprised. Don't be surprised if he has another one tonight.
You know, I wouldn't be surprised if that happens. He is really good at that. That's his third kick return for a touchdown this season. So Scotch is going to tee it up, and McCarlin will be back deep for Iowa. That's going to be an onside kick attempt. That is caught by Reed, but the flag is down. It might be offside on the Rattlers.
Yeah, it could be.
That's in about the area of offside on Arizona.
Yep. And that's what they're showing offside.
But boy, that was a nice play by Kerry Reed to get up, get some elevation, and get that ball.
We got a Iowa
Barnstormer down. That's defensive back Patrick Stoudemire, number 4, who's down on the 12-yard line. While he's being tended to, we'll wait for Chris Sneed to give us the call.
The kick, offsides by the kicking team, number 15. Penalties half the distance to the goal from the 10-yard line. The first down, Iowa.
Sorry. So there you go, Barnstormer ball at the 5. That's why Kerry Reed was able to get to the ball. He was offside. Got a real good jump, though. And I was going to have it first and goal at the Arizona 5 following that mistake. But given the fact that that just happened, what do you think about the idea of going for the onside kick?
You know what? I actually liked it, and it almost worked. Why not? Why not?
So while we have the injury time out here, while we tend to Stoudemire on the near side, final is Tampa Bay's beating Pittsburgh 62-55, and we are all anxiously awaiting to see what happened in the final 5 seconds of Jacksonville and Orlando, a 68-67 game. And we think Orlando had scored a touchdown, and we don't know if they went for 2 or not. So that is going to come down to the wire, and we've got the stretcher coming out there for Stoudemire.
Yeah, we got
hope it's not Terribly serious.
Yeah, we got a stretcher coming out. The last time we had a stretcher come out here was for the sumo wrestler who did a backflip into the end zone. It turned out he did get wheeled off, but he did come back later, and he was fine.
Yeah, apparently Jacksonville won. Crumbs. Beat Orlando by a point. Jacksonville now 11-1? Yes, 11-1. Wow.
Okay.
Darn it. But boy, Orlando gave them a run for their money.
Yes,
there it
did.
is now. It just went final 68-67 on the Arena Football website. Milwaukee's going to beat Kansas City 48-34. They're up with 15 seconds left there. And how about this? The Tulsa Talons, offensive explosion tonight. They are leading the Utah Blaze 81-51. 10:31 to go in that game. That is amazing that Tulsa is putting up 81 points. Wow.
Yeah, I actually can't see what's going on, but you got a lot of concerned players that are
from both teams.
Yeah, from both teams that
and
are.
Bringing out, it looks like there's a. And I realize you fans can't see this because you're not. The video board just showing some ads right now, but they've got the backboard out there and a couple of the local paramedics trying to help get him onto the backboard. Just perhaps more as a precaution in case something had happened like that, but you hope he's okay.
Yeah, you do. You never want to see. You want to play hard. You want to see hard hits, but you never really want to see anyone get hurt. With that, why don't we just take a break?
All right, let's do that. Pro Sports Broadcasting Nifty.
Who's your player for the Barnstormers? Number 4, Patrick Stottmeyer.
right, back into the U.S. Airways Center. Patrick Stoudemire took a very hard hit into the wall. Took several minutes, but the paramedics have him strapped to a backboard up on a gurney and are going to be getting him off the field shortly to probably a local hospital. Hopefully he's okay. Iowa team took a knee in prayer for their teammate who's injured. And we'll see if we can possibly get an update later in this game as to how he is doing. But Stoudemire definitely done for the night, hopefully not longer.
And they're taking him right out the hall where the down the ramp, and that's where the ambulance sits here at U.S. Airways Arena.
So I think we are just about ready to get back to football. It's going to be Iowa ball, first and goal at the Arizona 6 after the delay. And it'll be interesting to see how these two teams come out, especially Iowa with their state of mind following what just happened. Banks drops back, looks to his right, goes up for the end zone, picked off. Marquise Floyd laterals it to Vince Hill in the corner of the end zone. He falls on it, and it's going to be an Arizona interception. Rattlers have the ball back. Second look at that one. He was going for McCown. Floyd right there to pick it off. Let's check that. Ellingsworth, he tried to rip it away from Floyd. Floyd laterals it to Hill, and he gets tackled. And it's the second turnover of the night for the Iowa Barnstormers, both of which deep in the red zone. And Arizona's going to get a chance here to potentially make this a 15-point game if they can get down to the end zone. First and 10 Arizona on their own 5-yard line.
Unbelievable, right? This defense is great, but you said it right. Look at this.
Davila threw a route for Geathers. Geathers stopped when he wasn't supposed to.
Right.
Chris Singleton couldn't get there to pick it off. But it's going to be second and 10 for the Arizona Rattlers.
As you had said before that ball was picked off, you don't know what the Iowa's frame of mind was after seeing their teammate go down, Stoudemire.
Second and 10, Harvey in motion. Fires it to Windsor on the far side, and he gets put up against the boards by Cameron McGlennon. It's a first down for the Rattlers, and Windsor and the Snakes keep going down the boards.
Yeah, just look for, really just look for the Rattlers to pick this team apart now. They get up, put another 7 points on the board. They're going to put this one away early.
Hopefully. Geathers in motion. Davila drops back, looking to pass. Plenty of time, throws over the middle. Got Geathers at the 13. McGlenn there to knock him against the wall, but it's another first down. And yet again, here come the Rattlers.
And you know what I want to see?
What do you want to see?
I would like to see him get down there, but I really want to see some more Odie Express.
Yeah, I mean, actually, Iowa's running back, Rodney Filer, had a 35-yard touchdown run last week. That's a long run for this league.
Yeah, it is.
Reed in motion. Davila drops back, getting plenty of time. Fires it for Geathers a little too far, and it's incomplete.
You don't usually see Davila miss a guy by that much. But guess what? It's only second down.
Yeah. 2.5 left to go in the first quarter. 14-6, Rattlers with the lead and the ball on the Iowa 14. 13-yard line, check that, 13. Geathers the motion man. Davila drops back, fires it for Fox. Fox down to the 2, down to the 1, through 3 defenders into the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona!
Are you sure that was a Fox?
That definitely was Glenn Fox. And second look at this one. Davila drops back, finds him, goes through McGlenn and a couple other defenders, and boom, end zone. 20-6, Arizona leads it. PAT coming from Scotia.
Gotcha.
Scotia splits them 21-6. Arizona leads with 1:28 to go in the first quarter. This is Pro Sports Broadcasting on Nifty TV. Back again in the U.S. Airways Center, 21-6. Arizona leads the Iowa Barnstormers. 1:28 to go in the first quarter. Arizona's gotten a rushing touchdown from Odie Armstrong. A kickoff return for a touchdown from Virgil Gray. And now Glenn Fox with the receiving touchdown. So the Rattlers are scoring pretty much every way you can offensively. And we'll see what they do after this series. Scotcha kicks off to Ellingworth off the net. Gets out to the 5. Tries to get around McCullough, but McCullough grabs him by the ankles and hauls him down at the 10. And that's where Iowa starts their fourth drive of the night on their own 10-yard line.
A little bit better in coverage right there for the Rattlers. At least they were only able to get out to the 10, 11-yard line.
But notice how already the Rattler defense has risen to the occasion and made 2 stops inside their own 5-yard line.
Oh, now I get a better view. Look at that. Now you can see those goggles.
Yeah. Told you they were goggles. Ellingworth at the bottom of the screen. Schmidt in motion. Quick pass out to McCown. It's a screen pass. McCown gets out to the 20 where he gets ridden down by Virgil Gray. It's a gain of 10 and an Iowa first down.
Actually, it's second down.
Okay, it's a gain of 9.5.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is, 9.5.
So, okay, 2nd and 1. But still, again, like we talked about earlier, that short game. Dinks and dunks and screens and stuff to the outside. Trying to stretch that field laterally, maybe open something up vertically.
Yeah, I'm surprised that they don't take one shot, at least just open up.
Well, Schmidt's in motion, running deep. They're going to throw it to him. Gray in coverage. Schmidt does not come down with it. Virgil Gray breaks that up. 3rd and 1.
Man, the words are coming out of my mouth, and they do it tonight.
As long as you're talking about that, what do you got for lotto numbers?
3, 16, 35, 43,
and how about
17.
All right, that's the first quarter of play. Arizona leads it 21-6 after 15 minutes. This is Pro Sports Broadcasting on Nifty.
Please welcome to the field the AFL's hottest dancers, the Arizona Rattlers Sidewinders. Blinders. Presented by Sonic Salon, Gold's Gym, Myrtle Beach, and Healing Secrets.
Welcome back to the Snake Pit. The Arizona Rattlers lead the Iowa Barnstormers 21-6 as we get ready to kick off the second quarter tonight. Iowa will face a 3rd and 1 on their own 20-yard line. And so far tonight, Arizona Rattler defense stopped the Barnstormers 2 out of 3 times. They're looking good so far. They're looking pretty darn good.
They are looking good, absolutely. Let's see what they can do here and see if they can stop them again.
It seems like Iowa's trying a lot of short passes, a lot of dink and dunk and slants and screens. And I mean, that's a great way if you're trying to kill the clock. But if you're trying to move the ball downfield, it makes for long, slow, methodical drives.
Well, they tried to open it up there on that on the pass just before the quarter ended, and that didn't work. So let's see what happens here.
The other thing we haven't seen yet tonight is the feet of Brad Banks in play. He's a running quarterback. He's 4th in the league in rushing. Has not tried to run the ball once. Maybe this is where he tries it. Schmidt in motion. Banks under center. He tries for the rush. He tries to get ahead, and the Rattler offensive line said no at first, but he winds up breaking free, gets out to midfield before Glasper brings him down. It's a gain of 5 and a first down.
That seemed like a little slow whistle because he was buttoned up there for a good long time.
He certainly was, so a little surprised that didn't get blown down, but it didn't, and the Iowa Barnstormers keep going, picking up their first 3rd down conversion of the night, and like I said, there were Banks' feet. Well, 1st and 10 at the Arizona 24. Banks drops back, looking to pass. Under pressure, gets away from a couple of Rattlers, throws it deep, picked off by Virgil Gray. No, he drops it, but we got multiple flags down. This is probably going to be pass interference. The question is, on whom?
Well, they're walking back, so I'm taking it's on Iowa.
Rattlers are pointing backwards. So we'll have Christian make the call.
Oh. I don't know. I didn't see it. Did you?
Both receivers were kind of bunched up with each other on the wall, so it really could have gone either way. But it winds up going against Arizona. And it's going to be 1st and 10 Iowa on the Rattler 14. Not really sure I agree with that call, but it is what it is. Schmidt's in motion. Ellingworth the near side. McCown down to the bottom. Quick pass going for McCown. A little too high. Another flag thrown. And we'll see what this one's for. This could be in the area of offensive holding. That's just as good a block below the waist. They'll back Iowa up 10 yards. It's going to be 1st and 20. That's going to go back to the 23 of the Barnstormers after that play. I'm sorry, check out the 24 of the Rattlers. My math's a little bit off tonight.
But you are right. It was 1st and 20.
Okay, half credit. So 1st and 20. Ellingworth near side, McCown at the bottom. Schmidt will be your motion man. Banks drops back, rush coming, gets it out to McCown on the far side, pinned up against the boards by McCullough and Swanson at the Arizona 16. It's a gain of 8.
Again, Iowa going with the short plays. Still expect that type from them all night. You might see that one pass every once in a while trying to go for it, but eventually if they get down any further than this, they're going to have to really start opening up.
2nd and 13 from the Rattlers 17. Banks drops back. He's got time. Is he going to run? Yes, he does. Banks down to the 10, slides at the 7, short of the first down, but he winds up getting about 10 on the play, and it's going to bring up 3rd and short for the Barnstormers.
Yeah, for Banks' sake, at least he got down. Otherwise, he was going to get cracked.
He was going to get demolished by any of those Rattler D-backs who were back there waiting for him. 3rd and 4. Check that 3rd and 3 from the 7. So it's a gain of 10 on the play for Banks.
All right, so what do you think? What do you think?
This is a great time for a short pass, but we'll see what they do. Banks fakes, throws for the end zone. That's off the net. Live, almost intercepted.
And
Goes through the hands of Floyd. And Marquise Hamilton couldn't get it, but we have a flag down right at the line of scrimmage.
And who's this on?
Tyree Glasper was clapping while he was laying on his back, so it might be against Iowa.
Oh. I don't know why he was clapping. He just picked up a personal foul.
No, that was before it got called, so it's going to be first and goal from the Rattler 4. Second look at that one. Banks had it away, and yeah, probably is about the right call. So penalties have given the Iowa Barnstormers 2 first downs on this drive. Got to keep the flags in the refs' pockets on defense.
You know, that's been one of the Rattlers' sore points so far this year. Even though they've been winning, which is great, they've still committed a lot of penalties.
Banks threw it, and he almost got picked off by Floyd. Marquise Floyd had in his gut, and he'll probably be getting nightmares from that one for about 4 days.
Unbelievable.
It's like Banks didn't even see Marquise Floyd out there. Second look at this one. Floyd rotating around in coverage and stepped in front of McCown. I tell you something, if he gets his hands on that one cleanly, bye-bye. So second and goal at the 3. And it might be time for the Rattlers to make another big stop deep in the red zone. They almost did there.
Yeah, unbelievable.
Schmidt in motion. Banks dropping back. Goes into the end zone for Marquise Hamilton. And they rule it a touchdown. So 3-yard touchdown pass, and it's 21-12 now, just inside 11 minutes to go in the second quarter.
Oh, Iowa finally got into the end zone again. You know, that's a big play for them.
But yet again, another Bataan death march kind of drive. Helped by 2 Rattler penalties that gave them first downs.
Going for the PAT.
Pertwee on for the extra point. Snap and spot. Our good kick is good as well. 21-13. The Rattlers lead the Barnstormers with 10.5 to go in the second quarter. This is Pro Sports Broadcasting on Nifty TV.
The Arizona Rattlers return to the Snake Pit 1 week from tonight, June 18th, taking on the San Jose SaberCats in the 7 p.m. kickoff. Secure your seats tonight at the U.S. Airways Center box office at Sam's Tables outside section 120 or by calling 410-985-3292. We'll see you next Saturday, June 18th, when your Rattlers take out the San Jose SaberCats. It's free t-shirt time.
Back to the U.S. Airways Center. It's 21-13. Arizona leads. 10:29 to go in the first half. Iowa just got a touchdown catch from Marquise Hamilton. 3 yards out there from Brad Banks, his second of the night. And Iowa again with a long drive, aided by a couple of Rattler penalties to give the Barnstormers first downs.
Well, guess who's back?
Slim Shady? Nope, Virgil Gray.
Virgil Gray,
who's already got 1 kick return for a touchdown. Back to take another swing and try and do another one.
You never know, right?
Yeah, well, look what happened the last time we said it.
I know.
So Pertweet's ready to tee it up. He does. Line drive kick off the left net. Gray fields it cleanly. And here he comes. Across the 5. Across the 10. Got a lane, but he wound up having that lane closed quickly and was knocked down by Rodney Filer at the 13.
He almost broke it. If he would have got past that bunch right there,
yeah,
that's it.
If that seam stays open another half second,
Yep.
It's Virgil Gray all the way, second time today. He is that close to breaking it every time he gets that kick return. That close.
That close?
That close. So let's see what Davila and the offense can do here. Up by 8, looking for more. Windsor the motion man on the top. Davila drops back, plenty of time. Fires it. Windsor's got it at the Iowa 20. Ducks out of a tackle. Actually gets pushed out of bounds. But again, another long pass and another Rattler first down.
Yeah, they're getting big chunks when the Rattlers offense gets it. They're getting huge chunks of yardage on that very first play.
It's going to be a 17-yard gain right there. And the Rattlers already crossed midfield, actually to the Iowa 19, so make it an 18-yard gain. Windsor's going to be at the bottom of the screen. Reed to the top. Jason Gether's your motion man now. Davila drops back. Quick out, and Reed can't hang on to it. Off his hands and into the second row. Someone gets a souvenir, and the Rattlers get second down.
That's an easy souvenir right there. Did I ever ask you this question? Have you ever picked up an AFL football?
No, you haven't, actually. I've touched one a couple times. It's a lot different than the NFL football.
In which way besides the color?
Just the feel of it. There's just something a little different about it. A little different tactile.
Same size, though, right?
Same size, yes. Gether's in motion. Davila dropping back. Got time. Fires it deep. And that is going to be picked off in the end zone. He was going for Windsor, but the defensive back, Chris Felder, had great inside position and takes it away. Iowa gets the ball on their own 5-yard line. Just the 8th interception Davila has thrown all season.
You know, watch number 9, and who is number 9 on the Iowa Barnstormers?
Brandon Cisse, the linebacker.
Yeah. Just watch out for him during this game.
Well, let's take a break since we have a timeout on the field. It's 21-13, Arizona leading. This is Pro Sports Broadcasting on Nifty.
Please welcome family Allison of the Sidewinders as they drive out of the Legends Dinner Barbecue Ribs. The Lucky Leopard Fancy Man. 2-1-14, row 8, seed 1.
Now, again, Rattlers we're in a position to put away a team early, and we've seen this a lot this year. Haven't been able to do it.
I mean, it's not put away to the point where it's game over, but it would be a different story if it was, say, 28-13 as opposed to what may happen on this drive. McCown at the bottom, Ellingworth in the middle, Schmidt will be the motion man on the top of the screen. He's going to run around to the bottom. Banks, pass over to Ellingworth. Ellingworth, the 5, tries to get around the lineman. He does. Now he's going to get tackled out of bounds and run out pretty hard there by Tyree Glasper. press him against the boards at about the 12, a gain of 7.
Yeah, he got.
Gain of 9. Quick second look at that one. And there you see the hit. He took it pretty hard on the boards.
Oh, yeah.
Banks tries to rush ahead for the first down. He's got it on the quarterback sneak. Gain of 2.
I just saw a big bag of popcorn go past me here at the U.S. Airways, and I just wanted to reach out and grab it.
That's definitely a snacky kind of game. Ellingworth in motion. Banks dropping back, feels the pressure, gets rid of it, going for Ellingworth. It's knocked down beautifully by Marquise Floyd.
Yeah, that was a very nice play. Actually, I think, I want to see the replay on that. I think Banks may have got touched. There we go. Here's the replay. There you picked it up too late.
Marquise Floyd got over there, closed nicely, got his arms out to deflect that away from Ellingworth.
Very good play.
2nd and 10 on the Iowa 17. 6:45 to go in the first half. 21-13, the Rattlers lead the Barnstormers. Schmidt, the motion man. Quick out over to McCown. Gets out to the 20, out to midfield where he gets tackled by McCullough on the Arizona 23. That's enough for another Iowa first down. Again, that dink and dunk, and dunk.
Very short passes. I think they're afraid to throw the ball down the field. I really think that they're afraid of this Arizona defensive backfield.
So they needed 10. They got 10. The Barnstormers keep on going. Now across midfield. Schmidt again in motion. Banks dropping back. Fires for Schmidt. Got him at the 13-yard line. It's going to be a gain of 9, close to another first down.
They're doing a nice job with this, but I think eventually they're going to have to get down the field and open this up because you're going to start having the Rattlers defense right on top of these guys.
You may have a cornerback, instead of sitting back, he may decide to press up on a route and get right place, right time, and goodbye.
Yep.
Schmidt again in motion. Banks drops back. Looks for Schmidt in the corner of the end zone.
Another
Deflected
nice
by
play.
Virgil Gray. So, we got flags down. I can't see. It's right in the middle of the field. And it's a hold on Iowa, even better.
I'm just looking up at the scoreboard. You know what? There we go. Final in. Arizona Diamondbacks beat the Florida Marlins. That puts Arizona just one half game behind the San Francisco Giants in the Major League Baseball National League West Division.
Hey, as long as we're talking about baseball, things like that, how about a shout out to the Arizona State women's softball team?
Absolutely.
Second national title in the last 4 years the other night in Oklahoma City.
They played great.
Took care of Florida to win the crown. Banks drops back, quick out to Schmidt. Schmidt to the 20, the 15, knocked down by Swanson right there. Gain of 9, and it's going to be 3rd and short coming up now for Iowa.
And we'll look for that Arizona Sun Devil softball team to be good for many years to come. They have a great pitcher who's just a freshman.
Dallas Escobedo.
Yep.
Saw her play in high school. She is the real deal.
Did you cover in high school?
Yeah, sure did. A little bit. State championship game. She mowed down everybody. Anyway, back to arena football. Ellingworth, the motion man. Banks, quick hitch to Ellingworth, first down. And he gets pressed against the board by Swanson at the Arizona 8. And yet again, it's that dink and dunk, the quick plays.
You're right. I do like those goggle helmets there.
They're definitely unique. It's actually a 6-yard gain. It was knocked out at the 9. And we'll see how Iowa does on this trip in the red zone. So far, 2 for 4 tonight. in the red zone, and Rattler defense might want to see if they can make a third stop of the Barnstormers in the first half. Banks dropping back under pressure, tipped.
Ooh.
Hawthorne got Pittman checked that, got his hands up. That's what I mentioned in the pregame show. Rattler defensive line gets a push, gets their hands up, they're going to cause problems.
Just keep their hands up. And you haven't seen them with their hands up a lot tonight. And I think as they go in the locker room at halftime, you're going to see defensive coach say, you know, this guy's short. Keep your hands up. Jump up anytime he's throwing it.
Yeah.
But what you haven't seen is a lot of throws right up the middle right there. When you have, they've been picked off, too. At this time, it was deflected.
Yeah, again, a lot of slants to the outside. Banks drops back, has some time, throws it too hot for
Oh.
Ellingsworth. And that was nearly picked off in the end zone. And I believe that's Virgil Gray face down upset about that one. 3rd and goal now for Iowa.
Actually, it's not Virgil Gray. It's
Marquise
Floyd.
Floyd. Yeah. But I tell you, these Arizona defensive backs have been swarming to the ball tonight. They're doing a great job of breaking up passes. I've probably seen 6 or 7 of them get broken up so far in the first half.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, 2.5 to go in the first half. 3rd and 9 Iowa. 3rd and goal from the 9, check that. Banks dropping back. Has time, fires it to the end zone, off the net. And that's going to be incomplete. He was going for Marquise Hamilton.
And guess who just got off his back again? And we got Tyree Glassberg getting up slow. He's hurt.
That's not Glassberg, that's Harrington.
Oh, I'm sorry. I knew it was a Rattler player.
Yeah. So Harrington's going
You got to remember, I can't see.
So Harrington's
I'm blind as a bat.
hobbling slowly to the Rattler bench.
You have to remember this.
I will remember that. And coming in
Let
for
me
him
borrow
is
let me borrow your glass. It looks like they got a little, what is that, crazy glue in your glasses?
super glue. We'll talk about that during the break. Iowa calls a timeout with 2 minutes to go in the first half. They're down 21-13, facing 4th and goal on the 9. And this is Pro Sports Broadcasting on Nifty TV.
Yeah, let me see that. Huh?
You can still access the field from sections 116 and 124. Your favorite players and sidewinders will sign autographs for half an hour at 6 locations on the field. To ensure your safety and those around you, please don't run on the field or throw footballs. We'll see you after the game for the Rattlers hosting autograph session. Another way we say thanks for being the best fans in arena football. Ninth man, please direct your attention to the south end zone and join the Rattlers in welcoming 3 families from the Arizona Concerns of Police Survivors. Families of those who paid the ultimate price while protecting our communities. With us tonight, Shelly Nielsen, sister of Officer Rob Nielsen. Christy, Kayla, Sam, and Elisa Lynch, wife and children of Sergeant Tate Lynch. And Erica and Dylan Mitchell, wife and son of Officer Brian Mitchell. For more information on how you can support the Arizona Concerns of Police Survivors and help members of fallen law officers to rebuild their shattered lives.
Back in the U.S. Airways Center, 21-13, Arizona leads Iowa. 2 minutes to go in the first half. Iowa faces 4th and goal on the Rattler 9. They've taken their first time out to talk it over and figure out what they're going to do. And at this point in the game, this is a pretty big play for the Barnstormers.
It is. It is. A very, very, very big play. And let's see what the Rattlers can do here. Hopefully they can get a stop here. Okay, what do you think the crowd is tonight? You want to guesstimate?
92-92.
Okay, I'm going to go 84-31.
We'll check back in the fourth quarter and see who's closer to right. Just for fun, if you want to take a guess at home, go ahead.
And we got to play this like Price is Right. If you go over, you're done.
Hey, if they go over my number, I'd be happy. So 4th down and goal. Banks drops back, rolling out to his right, under pressure, has time to throw for the end zone. That's in the back of the end zone, off the net, incomplete. And the Rattlers hold. Going for Marquise Hamilton, but threw a little bit high.
And that was a huge stop right there. Big stop.
Third stop the Rattlers have made so far tonight in the red zone.
Especially after the turnover and the interception there thrown by Davila to the defense came back, picked up their offense.
So Rattlers will have the ball on their 9-yard line. 1:50 to go in the second quarter. All 3 timeouts. And don't forget the 1-minute timing rules coming up. Windsor the motion man, the bottom of the screen. Davila drops back. Looking, has time, fires over the middle. Got Windsor cutting at the 24-yard line. Gets away from one tackle. Knocked out at the 20 by Chris Singleton. Another long play and another Arizona first down.
Exactly, and what we've seen, it seems like every first play of the drive for the Rattlers, it's been a big play.
22-yard gain there. And so far tonight, I've unofficially got Windsor at 73 yards, if I am correct. So Davila drops back to pass here on first down. Windsor gets a few more to the 10. Tries to cut around a defender, getting inside the 5. And it's going to be first and goal now for Arizona at the Iowa 5, a 14-yard gain there. And there is the 1-minute warning. So 21-13, Arizona with the lead, and they're looking for more.
You want to stay here or you want to take a little break here?
Yeah, let's stay here real quick, give those couple of other finals.
Hey, there's the whirlybird on the field again.
The roundabout. A couple other finals from earlier tonight. Milwaukee took care of Kansas City 54-34. Tulsa with the offensive explosion downs Utah 81-51, sending the Utah Blaze down to 5-7. San Jose is 5-7. Spokane is 5-7. You sense a trend?
I like this whirlybird. I don't know if that's what they call it. Roundabout, right?
Roundabouts.
I might have to buy one.
No,
But I'd probably throw it in my neighbor's yard.
But would it come back?
I doubt it. All right. Let's get this game on the road. This guy, I've seen enough of the roundabout. What do you think?
It just goes around in circles. But hey, people like it. All right, first and goal at the Iowa 5 when play resumes. Rattlers have just been going down the field, a lot of good long pass plays. And looking at Davila's completion so far tonight, he has not had a completion of fewer than 13 yards. So they are getting it chunk by chunk by chunk. There is no dink and dunk, and the Rattlers just moving down the field.
Right, it's all been, you're right, it's all been big-time yardage.
Yeah, double-digit pass yardage on every single play. That's why I've got Davila unofficially, I believe it's 8 of 11 for 134 yards. And that one interception.
That's actually not a lot for him.
No. But yeah, I remember too, you had the kickoff return for the touchdown. Cody got one.
Yep.
So it's been diversified offense. We'll see who gets one here. Windsor and Fox to the bottom. Gathers will be our motion man. I smell an Odie run.
Think so?
Yep. Nope. Davila drops back. Got Windsor in the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona.
How about a pass to Windsor?
That's the shortest completion of the night. 5-yard touchdown pass, 27-13. Arizona leads Iowa. PAT coming.
That's horrible. That's going to ruin his record.
Scotcher comes out for the PAT. McCullough, your long snapper. Backup quarterback Trevor Harris is the holder. Snaps good, spots good, kicks up, yes sir. 28-13, the Rattlers lead with 56 seconds left in the first half. This is Pro Sports Broadcasting on Nifty. Back again in the U.S. Airways Center. The Arizona Rattlers lead at 28-13 over the Iowa Barnstormers. 56 seconds remain in the first half. And keep in mind, Arizona's going to get the ball to start the second half, too.
Yes, they are. You know, there's 56 seconds to go. That is an eternity here in the Arena Football League.
Especially when Iowa has 2 timeouts and Arizona has 3. So you might want to grab a snack here for the last minute of the half.
Okay. I don't know, that popcorn just passed me a few minutes ago.
Not a bad idea. Gotcha. Onside kick attempt by the Rattlers. That is loose. It's recovered by the Barnstormers. Chris Felder running down the sideline, down inside the 5. And McCullough rides him down at the Arizona 4. Felder's a little slow to get up.
Now that one I was a little bit surprised. That was a little surprising. You know, I could see the first one.
Yeah.
I really couldn't see the second one.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure about that, but, you know, maybe trying to squeeze another possession out here before the end of the half. But so Iowa's going to get set up with incredible field position on the Rattlers 3, first and goal, following the onside kick recovery and return by Chris Felder. But again, Iowa's gotten down to this part of the field before and gotten bogged down here 3 times tonight. In motion is going to be Hamilton. Banks drops back, looks for Hamilton, got it in the end zone, touchdown.
That was quick.
One play, 3 yards, 28-19 the score, extra point coming.
And that only took, let's see, where we started. We said 56, right?
Yeah.
So 11 seconds off the board from start to finish of that drive.
It seems like Banks wants to go to Marquise Hamilton towards the goal line. It's more like the red zone back, if you will. 6'3", 222 out of Iowa State. Big-bodied guy. Pertwee on for the extra point. Snaps good, holds good, kick is up. Yes, sir. 28-20, 45 seconds left in the first half. This is Pro Sports Broadcasting on Nifty. Back in the U.S. Airways Center, 28-20. Arizona leads the Iowa Barnstormers with 45 seconds to go in the first half. Iowa was able to recover an onside kick, bring it back to the 3, and Brad Banks hit Marquise Hamilton from 3 yards out for the touchdown. And it's still an 8-point game. Arizona's set to get the ball here.
You think we could see an onside kick here?
Possible. You don't know what the way this game's been going. We've had turnovers, we've had onside kicks. This one
and it is
a chip shot onside kick. That rolls back down towards where Virgil Gray is. Does he field it? I believe that one went out of bounds against the wall.
Yeah, it did. I think that's what the...
So if that kickoff goes out of bounds, the Rattlers trying to get it at the more advantageous spot where it went out of bounds at the 20-yard line. I'm going for the 20.
I thought I heard there's a penalty on the play.
If so, I can't see where the flag is thrown. Must be against the near side, top of the screen wall. That we can't see from our vantage point.
There's the kick. Offside. Trying to kick with team number 3. It's a 10-yard penalty. First down.
All right, so the Rattlers are going to have the ball first and 10 on their own 23 after that penalty.
Yeah, let's see if they can get another touchdown here. Plenty of time.
And keep in mind, they get the ball to open the second half, so this is where you want to link your possessions together. Davla drops back, gathers with the man in motion.
There's
flag
flags
down.
on the field.
That is picked off by Chris Singleton.
But I actually think that was defense.
Yeah, that looks like in the area of an illegal defense. Chris Singleton was knocked down at the 20-yard line by Kerry Reed, but let's see what the flags, plural, are for.
That's an illegal defense.
That's definitely got to be like an illegal twist or jack up.
Flag, illegal formation by the defense, number 9.
Yep, there it is, illegal defense.
That could be very, very, very costly for Iowa. Looked like they had picked one off there.
They sure did. So Davila and Company.
Well, they did
gets
pick one off. It was just nullified.
Yep. Windsor at the bottom, Geathers the motion man, Reed at the top. Davila and Company getting a second chance. 1st and 5 on the 22 of the Barnstormers. Over the middle for Geathers. Geathers went in, the pass went out, and it's second and 5.
How did you explain that? The pass went in and Geathers went out? Or vice versa?
Well, one of those two. The point is they went opposite directions.
Okay.
33 seconds left in the first half. Arizona up 28-20, looking to add to it.
I thought we were going to see our friend Cameron Legge here this evening.
Noted internet blogger about the Rattlers, Cameron Legge. Geathers in motion. Davila drops back, going for Geathers. Got it down to the 9-yard line where he gets tackled. First down for the Rattlers. First and goal at the Iowa 9 after a 13-yard pickup. And yet again, as I mentioned earlier, Nick Davila has completed one pass of fewer than 13 yards tonight.
And there's a timeout on the field.
.15 seconds to go in the first half. Arizona leads Iowa 28-20. First and goal on the 9. And with the Rattlers having 2 timeouts, I think it's OT time.
You think so?
Yeah, if you got the timeouts, you want to milk that clock down, sure. Davila, actually quick pass over to Reed. Reed to the end zone, stretches, got it! Touchdown Arizona! Kerry Reed goes horizontal and gets in the end zone.
That was nice to see, but 9 seconds. 9 seconds remain on this clock.
And keep in mind how big that penalty was for illegal defense that nullified the interception and got Davila another shot with the ball, and he did not make that same mistake twice. Scott John for the extra point. Kick is up. Got it. 35-20. The Rattlers lead with 9 seconds left.
We got an injury on the field. Is that McCullough?
That is Kevin McCullough. He's the long snapper, and when you're the long snapper, you're always in an awkward position.
Right.
But he seems to be okay.
Yeah, I think he's shaking up a little bit there, but I think he'll be all right.
Yeah, he'll be fine. So now with 9 seconds left, Iowa still has a couple timeouts to work with. Maybe they can try and work something down the field, go for a field goal, or maybe try and get a score back on the board, because if Arizona opens the second half with the ball and scores a touchdown, you're looking at a 22-point game. And that's a huge deficit to overcome, if that happens.
Yeah, you're right. We'll see what happens here. Well, wouldn't you think that Iowa would still go for at least some long? They got to go for a long play, right?
Yeah, because Iowa, from what I've seen here, does not have a completion of more than 12 yards tonight, which is interesting because Davila only has 2 completions less than 13. Iowa has none more than 12.
Hey,
it's the long and short of it.
Maybe the Rattlers will go for another onside kick.
I wouldn't be
I don't think so, though.
No. But back deep to receive is going to be Eric McCown. McCullough's out there on the kick coverage, so he seems to be okay. And we'll see what Scott just got cooked up here. Hammers it deep. That is into the Casino Arizona seats. So that's going to be a touchback.
That's one way.
1st and 10 at the Iowa 5 for the Barnstormers. No time off the clock on that play. Oh, we'll see what the Barnstormers can put together here. Maybe enough time for 2, maybe 3 plays. But they've got to go for a deep shot. They have to go for a deep one.
I didn't yawn, did I?
No. Schmidt, the motion man. Banks, short pass over the far side to McCown. And he winds up still trying to make a couple moves. I believe he stepped out at about the 9.
The only thing is, that took 7 seconds off the clock. That's a long time.
Yeah, got to know where you are on the field at all times. And if he was right up against the boards, he should have put his back into it and stopped the clock. But it's going to wind up being a 4-yard gain. Take 7 seconds off the clock. Iowa takes timeout. The microphone from the referee.
That sounded pretty good, didn't it? Sounded pretty good.
So now, with 2 seconds left, this has got to be the last play of the half. But do you possibly try an uber long field goal, or do you just go for it?
I don't think you got a shot with Iowa with their field goal kicker. They don't have a shot. So they got to throw the ball deep, throw it off the screen, something.
But then again, we've seen Iowa throw it off the screens a few times tonight, and every time it's nearly been intercepted by the Rattlers.
True, but as far as I'm concerned, throw it off the screen.
Okay, I'm all for it. So, Pertweet's going to stay on the sideline. They're going to take a final shot here with 2 seconds left. Schmidt's going to be the man in motion. Rattler defensive backs way off the play here. Banks underneath, gets Ellingsworth, fake lateral. Ellingsworth trying to going to the outside. Gets tackled by Swanson at the Arizona 20, and that's the half. 35-20, the Rattlers lead the Barnstormers after 30 minutes. This is Pro Sports Broadcasting on Nifty.
Rules of the game brought to you by Napa. Napa know-how. 8 players per side on the field. Players may be offense or defense. The clock runs non-stop until the final minute of each half. No punting. No stunning or twisting. One receiver may move in forward motion before the snap. Rebounds off the net are allowed. Players can be tackled into the wall. And that's the rules of the game brought to you by Napa. Napa know-how.
Raptor fans for your halftime entertainment. Let's run through the field. Fast trainers. Confidence, acceleration, and sports training. Raptors official sports performance provider. Watch as these trainers hit the number of kid athletes for tonight's game through their high-end fast course, testing their speed, agility, and strength. Cheer on your athletes. gentlemen, learn how to improve your game and receive special training offers like the Fast page on Facebook and facebook.com/Foothills. Let's hear it for the Fast trainers from Foothills Acceleration and Sports Training and their special guests here tonight.
Style points don't show up in the box score. Talking a good game has never won a championship. And we're sorry to break it to you. It's not the shoes. It's the work, the pride, the blood, and the tears. Because Russell's wicking sweat out of the equation. Russell dry power moisture wicking tees and fleece. The next evolution in over 100 years of raw performance.
Are you a weekend warrior? Do you know where to turn to if you get hurt? We do. At Foothill Sports Medicine Physical Therapy Centers, we provide an individualized hands-on treatment plan based on your specific injury. We aim to restore function and to prevent re-injury. Call or stop by any of our 12 convenient valley-wide locations to receive a free assessment.
Arizona Rattlers would like to thank Russell Athletic, the official uniform supplier of Arena Football. For all the latest scores and inside information, log on to arenafootball.com. Whether you want to chat with fellow Arena Football fans or just check on the very latest league standings or stats, arenafootball.com is where it's at. At My Business Partner, we believe in using the right people to do the right jobs for a successful outcome. Contact the official comptroller and accountant of the Arizona Rattlers, My Business Partner, to find out how you can get the right people in the right jobs without having personnel to your payroll. My Business Partner is your partner in success. Rattler fans, be sure to catch Arena Football Friday nights on the NFL Network all season long. Visit arenafootball.com for the complete national game of the week schedule. And contact your local cable or satellite provider for NFL Network subscription information. Rattler fans, be sure to catch all the exciting action and replays of the 2011 Rattlers season online with Nifty. Visit arenafootball.com and click the live feed link. Don't miss a snap again. The Arizona Rattlers thank Spalding, the official football supplier of Arena Football. And the Rattlers would like to thank Riddell, official helmet and protective equipment supplier of the Arena Football League.
Welcome back to the U.S. Airways Center. I'm Andrew the Hammer Nordmeyer with Bob King Paneras. It's halftime, and the Arizona Rattlers lead the Iowa Barnstormers 35-20. And with some of the results we've seen tonight, the National Conference playoff picture has turned into a quagmire.
And what do you mean by that?
Well, Arizona, assuming they win, will be ahead of the pack at 11-2. Chicago will be 9-3 in second place. They had a bye. Dallas at 7-5, third place right now. They had a bye this week. Tulsa beat Utah. San Jose had a bye. Spokane won last night. You have 4 teams at 5-7. Tulsa, Utah, Spokane, San Jose. You have 6 games remaining. One of those teams is going to break out of the pack and take that last playoff spot, and if they do, guess where they're coming?
Right here.
And I don't really know that I have a favorite team I'd want to face in that position.
I don't know.
I mean, Rattlers have beaten Utah twice this season. They've beaten San Jose once. Spokane, you just never know. And Tulsa, Rattlers handled them pretty easily out in Oklahoma, but Tulsa threw up 81 on Utah tonight. I don't know which one I would want, but
I don't know either.
But we got 6 weeks to figure it out. We'll see what happens. Out east, Jacksonville's running away with it. They've got the number 1 seed pretty much to themselves. Orlando's going to be 8-4. They should be probably a 3 seed. And then you've got Pittsburgh and Cleveland tied for the lead in the Eastern Division. And Georgia is nipping on their heels. They're 7-5. So really, realistically, out east, you've got 5 teams for 4 spots. Out west, you've got your first 3 pretty much set up and a 4-way demolition derby for the last spot. It is going to be an exciting race coming down to the finish.
It sure will be. And as we hear, we're at halftime, just before the opening kickoff, where the Rattlers lead the Barnstormers 35-20.
And they will get the ball back to open the second half.
Yes, that's what I was going to say next. And that is correct. We get the ball back. We're actually going to be down in the field playing the second half for the Rattlers.
I think I'm returning and Kingpin's my up man.
Exactly. I'm going to smash somebody.
I'm going to do my best Virgil Gray imitation and try and run it back.
We haven't got a word back yet about the player Stoudemire who went down with for the Barnes.
Whatever you want, whatever you need, the low price is guaranteed. You can have it now, you don't have to wait. You can buy a lease to own the Aaron's way. Nobody beats Aaron's, nobody, nobody beats Aaron's, nobody.
Rules of the game brought to you by Napa. Napa know-how. 8 players per side on the field. Players may be offense or defense. The clock runs non-stop until the final minute of each half. No punting. No stunning or twisting. One receiver may move in forward motion before the snap. Rebounds off the net are allowed. Players can be tackled into the wall. And that's the rules of the game brought to you by Napa. Napa know-how.
Ready to get going here. And statistical leaders in the first half. That will look pretty good. 11 of 16 for 3 scores, 162 yards. Moving the ball around nicely. Windsor's got 6 catches for 92 yards, but Kerry Reed has a score. Glenn Fox has a score. Brandon Harvey not playing. He's on the injured list, out for 4 weeks. Brad Banks not doing too bad. 3 touchdowns of his own, but we got the special teams touchdown from Virgil Gray. Odie Armstrong's 1 run went to the end zone. And that 1 missed extra point by Nick Pertwee is starting to loom a little bit larger.
And as the Rattlers make their way out on the field, and the crowd settles back in their seats, let's see what the Rattlers will do here in the second half. And they have been very strong, a very strong second half team.
Yeah, they are probably just going to come right out of the gate, bolting hard against the Barnstormers. And, oh, look who's back in the end zone down to our right. Here left for those of you guys watching on Nifty. Hey, it's Virgil Gray. He's had 2 kick returns tonight for 71 yards, including that 54-yard return for the score.
Is that Virgil Gray?
That is Virgil Gray. Virgil Gray, who also is the only player this year in the Arena Football League to return a field goal missed for a touchdown as well. You give him a lane, he's gone.
As I said in this game, don't be surprised if we see him break another one.
Well, we seem to have this track record of saying stuff and it happens, so we'll see what happens here. Pertwee, high off the net. Gray's got it. Out to the 5, looking for that lane. Gets across the 15. Busts outside. Trying to get through Pertwee. He does, and gets knocked down to the Iowa 15. Another great return by Virgil Gray to the Iowa 15. Excellent field position from the league's leading kickoff returner. And the Rattlers have a nice short field to work with.
Yep, and Virgil Gray, there he goes again, right? That guy is very good.
About a 37, 38-yard kickoff return there. Nicely done.
Now let's see the Rattlers get it in there. I want some more Odie, though. I haven't seen Odie run enough tonight. Was it just the one run?
The one run for 7 yards on the score. Windsor on the top, Geathers on the bottom. And that's going to be Fox in motion. Dalvo drops back. Quick pass to Odie. At the 10, at the 5, barely. Touchdown, Arizona.
And Odie. What do we just see? We wanted to see more of Odie. And we see him with a little pass out of the backfield. And no one, again, was going to get in Odie's way.
Second look on that one. Odie runs. McGlennon gets blocked. And a defender there, Marquise Hamilton, tried to tackle him. And it didn't work. Odie in the end zone. 41-20, Arizona. PAT coming.
The Odie Express. Whoop, 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 whoop.
Scott John for the extra point. First play of the second half goes for a touchdown. Scott hits the extra point. A 22-point lead for the Rattlers. This is Pro Sports Broadcasting on Nifty. 2-2.
Please direct your attention to Rap TV. You've got a winning team. You've got winning hearts. Proud sponsor of the Arena Football League. All right, Ninth Man makes some noise. One more time, it's green t-shirt time.
Back at the U.S. Airways Center, the Arizona Rattlers cash in that great Virgil Gray kick return. And, hey, we know Odie Armstrong can run, but, hey, he can catch, too.
He can catch, and then he can run after he catches the ball. And what you saw there was another team who didn't want to get in Odie's way. Let's not touch Odie. We don't want to get hurt. Woot, 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 woot.
Odie Express to the end zone through the air. 15-yard score. Rattlers lead it 42-20. On one play in the second half from scrimmage.
I just want to see more of Odie so I can go, woot, woot.
So definitely the way you want to start the second half. Now with it being a 22-point game, this is going to force the Barnstormers' hand. They're going to have to try and throw some deep balls and switch it up because dink and dunk 8 yards at a time is okay, but it's not getting the job done well enough for Iowa tonight. They have got to be more aggressive and send more people deep, and more than just Jesse Schmidt. Tommy Ellingworth is going to be back to return the kickoff from Fabrizio Scaccia.
I just don't think we're going to see another onside kick here. We've seen a lot of them tonight.
Yeah, we've seen 3 of them attempted so far, none successful by both teams. Well, Scaccia sets up, hammers it deep, and here we go. Off the top of the net, Ellingworth fields it cleanly. Out to the left to the 5, and he gets tackled by Geathers, pushed against the boards at the 7. Great kick coverage there by the Rattlers, and the Barnstormers start deep in their own territory.
And let's see this Rattlers defense again. Here they come, out on the field.
Which has made 3 stops in the red zone, and a 4th stop when the first half ran out on Iowa. That's a big part of the reason why they're up 22 early in the third.
Now it's the time. Let's just put these guys away. Let's get them.
Let's make this look like the Utah game last week when they were up by 40-some points going in the fourth quarter.
Quarterback for the Barnstormers, number 15, Brian Lee Legowski.
And that's going to be an interesting change in quarterback. Brian Lee Ledowski comes in under center. Brad Banks ineffective. And that passes over to Schmidt. Vince Hill rides him down. That's going to be a loss of 3.
That's kind of interesting. We don't think the quarterback got hurt there, do we?
No, but there have been times before when Brad Banks has been pulled out of games, so I don't think this is injury. I think this might be performance and trying to spark the team. We saw this out of Iowa last week against Orlando, and Lee Ledowski came in and threw 4 touchdowns in relief, but by that point, the Barnstormers were just too far down.
Yeah, this quarterback looks very, very thin.
Yeah, Lee Ledowski finds a man over the middle. That's going to be Schmidt. He gets out to midfield, ridden down to the Arizona 23, and that's going to be a first down for the Barnstormers.
Yeah, that quarterback. What's the size of this quarterback here? Because looks like a good stiff wind might blow him over.
6'4", 210 is what the card says.
Yeah. Well, he might be 6'4", but he looks like about 170.
With a brick in his pocket.
That must be weighed in with the equipment.
That is very possible. Schmidt on the bottom. McCown will be your motion man. Ellingworth at the top. Lee Ledowski drops back. Looks, fires it deep. That's going to be almost picked off. Is it picked off? No.
No, because Floyd and Gray were both going for the ball.
So it doesn't work out that well. 2nd and 10 for the Barnstormers near midfield. Second look at that. Floyd had a shot. Gray had a shot. Neither of them could reel it in. Trying to go for that 5th defensive stop of the night.
I'll tell you what, the quarterback puts it up like that again, it will be picked off.
Ellingworth screen pass to Schmidt, gets to the 20, the 15, knocked down by Vince Hill. Going to be a gain of about 6. Again, Iowa still perplexing me by going with the quick little hits.
Yep. But you know what? They're going to have to do more than that in this game. This strategy is not going to work long-term basis here.
3rd and 1 here from the 14 of the Rattlers. So let's see what they do here. Lee Ledowski trying to go ahead on the quarterback sneak. I don't think he got it.
I don't think so either.
He may have gotten back to the original line, and judging by the
He did not make it.
Nothing. So now 4th and 1, down by 22 with the clock running. What do you do if you're Iowa? You got to go for it.
Well, you have to go for it. You're down 22 points. I mean, a field goal is going to do absolutely nothing. What I say is what I say here is the Rattlers turn up the air conditioning and knock the quarterback over.
Well, Lee Ledowski finds the man Ellingworth. He's got a first down to the Rattlers 6. Gain of 8. 1st and goal coming up for Iowa. Again, that short little dink and dunk is working.
And I guess they couldn't get the air conditioning turned up quick enough.
Well,
I told you, a good stiff breeze knocks this guy over.
So does the Rattlers defensive line. Schmidt, the motion man, to the top of the screen. Lee Ledowski dropping back. Now looks left. He's going to run with it. Tries to get around Glasper. He doesn't. Winds up getting a gain of 1, maybe 2, down to the Rattler 4. 2nd and goal coming up here for Iowa. Fans trying to get into this one, trying to get the defense chant going. Again, this is the part of the field that Iowa's been bogged down in all night. McCown, the motion man. Lee Ledowski drops back, looks right, now going over the middle, looking around, and has time to throw. Gets away from Harrington, throws it to the back of the end zone, incomplete for Schmidt. Flag is down. That may be roughing the quarterback on McCullough. Lee Ledowski got knocked down on the far boards.
And let's take it down to the field.
During the play, personal foul, roughing the passer, trying to defense.
And it was roughing the passer.
That's going to wind up giving Iowa a first down and goal at the Rattler 2.
Are you sure McCullough hit him or the air conditioning hit him?
I think it was McCullough. I saw a green jersey and not a little orange piece of paper flapping around the breeze.
Huh.
So, first and goal for the Barnstormers at the 2. Schmidt the motion man. Hamilton down on the bottom of the screen.
Now there we go. What happened there? The air conditioning went up and the quarterback went
And
down.
I believe we got a false start on Iowa, and that's what we're signaling here. Offensive lineman Paul Fenaroli just signed this week to help shore up a very battered offensive line. Commits the penalty. First and goal now at the 7. Rattlers trying to make another defensive stop here deep in their own zone. Hamilton the motion man. Lidinsky looking, fires for Hamilton at the goal line, got it, takes a hit from Gray, but he hangs on, and he's in for the touchdown.
Well,
42-26.
there's plenty flags down. I don't know who it's on.
I see 2 flags down, so these could be offsetting penalties for unsportsmanlike conduct. And now I see Floyd trying to go over and yap at the Iowa bench.
I think that they called it on.
Virgil Gray.
Yeah.
So that'll be enforced on the next play there. 42-26 the score. Barnstormers going for the PAT. Per tweet on. Per tweet. Good. 42-27 with 8:10 to go in the third quarter. This is Pro Sports Broadcasting on Nifty TV.
Barnstormers 27. Time out on the field. Now please direct your attention to Rat TV.
It's football without the luxury of stepping out of bounds to avoid bone-crunching hits. It's football where you sit right next to all the action. It's football. It's Arizona Rattlers football. For single game tickets, visit azrattlers.com.
Ninth-man contest, time on the carpet, time for the Arizona Lottery Pick to Win contest. And here's your host, JD of the Rat Pack.
Thank you, Jeff. Please say hello to our contestant, Mikey. If you can make a field goal from the 10-yard line, you will receive a $100 Albertsons gift card. Are you ready? All right, let's place the ball onto the tee. And let's make some noise.
Back in the U.S. Airways Center, 8:10 to go in the third quarter. Arizona leads at 42-27 over the Iowa Barnstormers. Iowa marched down the field on a lengthy drive, a 43-yard drive, and winds up getting a touchdown back to keep this within 2 scores. But it seems like it is getting real chippy out there, and these are 2 teams who just don't like each other.
Yeah, why don't they like each other?
I don't know.
Well, we'll see what happens here. Onside kick.
At some point, Iowa might want to try one. 8:10 left in the third quarter. Still a little early for my tastes. But then again, you don't want to give Virgil Gray a chance because he's already burned you once, and he almost did it twice.
We have a TV timeout on the field. We're just waiting for TV to come back from their commercial break.
And while we're waiting for them to come back, don't forget, we get to have all this fun next week back here at the Snake Pit when the Rattlers host the San Jose SaberCats in our divisional game. And that's one where if the Rattlers can win tonight and win next week, folks, these are division champions.
Yep, that's right.
And that would guarantee them at least a number 2 seed, at least 1 home playoff game. And then, hey, how many more home playoff games can you get? You never know. You never know. All right, we are ready to go. Gray back to receive it. Onside kick covered by Windsor at the 20. Running right to the 15, and he gets knocked off his feet by 3 defenders at the Iowa 14. So it's going to wind up being excellent field position again for the Rattlers, this time without the Gray return, but about the same spot on the field.
You know, I said that was a possibility that would happen, but you know what? it's hard for Iowa to get points. And, you know, it doesn't seem like it's been that hard. Do we have a penalty on the play?
Yeah, that the unsportsmanlike conduct penalty has to be enforced. So we're going to wind up going backwards 10 yards to the Iowa 24. If you remember that from the
Right,
extra
that's
point.
right. Yep.
Okay, so it's closer to midfield. So we'll see what they do here. Windsor to the top, Gathers to the bottom, and in motion is going to be Kerry Reed. Davila drops back, flags, whistles. He was going for Gathers, but I believe we're going to have a false start on Arizona. Yep. So 1st and 15 from the Arizona 22 after Windsor moved a little early. 21 check that. And the Rattlers so far seem to just keep kind of going backwards on this drive.
Not for long. Not for long. You know that their first play of a drive that's been pretty
Yeah,
big distance.
Only 2 completions tonight, less than 10 yards. Davila drops back, has time, fires, Gathers got it, and he's at the Iowa 16-yard line. He gets 13 there.
And that's about been his average, right?
Yeah, about 13 yards of completion tonight, which is frankly frightening that he's that good.
Well, just, you know, as I was saying, you know, if Rattlers score here, it's very tough for Iowa to get points. And, you know, they really can't shoot it down the field.
Nope, Reed in motion. Davila goes for Gathers over the wall. Did he catch it? No.
But somebody did get a souvenir, I believe.
It's going to bring up 3rd and 2 at the Iowa 16. You know, maybe this is time when you unleash Odie, let him rumble all over the Iowa defense.
Yeah, a little. Yeah, let's let Odie catch another pass out of the backfield and smack somebody.
Gathers to the bottom, Reed to the top. Windsor going to be your motion man. Davila drops back, looking for a short pass. He's got Windsor off his hands and incomplete. Covered on the play by Singleton, 4th and 2.
And you had Gathers wide open in the end zone. Davila did not see him. Wide open. Not a defender around him.
So now on 4th down, Scotch is still on the bench, so it doesn't look like a field goal. 6 minutes left here in the 3rd quarter. Arizona up by 15, trying to convert 4th and 2 from the Barnstormers 16. Windsor at the top, Reed in motion. Davila drops back, looks, Windsor caught it. It's incomplete. It got knocked out of his hands by Chris Felder, and Iowa takes over on downs.
And, you know, Davila was fixated on just a couple receivers on those last 2 plays when you had 2 receivers wide open.
So Iowa winds up getting it back on their own 16 after holding the Rattlers there on 3rd and 2 and 4th and 2. And we'll see if the Barnstormers can cash in, but it looks like we are going to have a timeout on the field, I believe.
Well, if they don't take a timeout, there's people out there.
Exactly. So, yeah, it looks like they're going to have a timeout on the field. We'll take it as well. This is Pro Sports Broadcasting on Nifty.
ASCTA was formed as a result of voter report of the Prop 302 in November of 2000. Since the creation of ASCTA, its model has contributed over $3.8 billion in economic impact to the state of Arizona. ASCTA has awarded over $12.5 million in grants to nonprofit organizations in Maricopa County for youth and amateur sports projects. Direct your attention now to the South End Zone and join ASCTA President Tom Sadler, Board Chairman Bill Peltier, and Grants Administrator Robin Madison as they present a check in the amount of $131,232 to the Virginia G. Piper Sports and Fitness Center for People with Disabilities. This grant will be used to purchase sports equipment at AM's new 45,000 square foot Sports and Fitness Center for People with Disabilities. ASCTA seeks to award a projected $1.6 million.
Welcome back to the U.S. Airways Center. 42-27, Arizona leads Iowa. Arizona got stopped by the Barnstormers on 3rd and 2 and 4th and 2. as a couple passes just went off the hands of the receivers and fell incomplete. Question is, though, now can Iowa capitalize and make this a one-score game, or will the Rattlers get yet another defensive stop?
Well, we will see, won't we? The thing is let's make it tough on Iowa to score. This is not a runaway game right now. I thought that this Arizona Rattler team would really be beaten up on Iowa, especially what we've seen against Iowa. But Iowa, again, as we mentioned in pregame, they've been very tough in our division.
Yep, Iowa's got 3 wins this year, all against the Western Division. And with a different quarterback, Brian Leledusky, to shake it up. We'll see how that turns out. Schmidt, the man in motion. Now we got a flag. That'll probably be for a false start. And I tell you, Antaj Hawthorne just pushed Paul Fenaroli into Leledusky. So it's going to be 1st and 15 from the 11 for the Barnstormers. And I tell you, if the Arizona defensive line can step up just a little bit and get some pressure, I think it's going to go a long way to making this a better night for the Rattlers. I mean, it's looking pretty good right now, but we haven't seen a lot of pressure on either quarterback. Schmidt, the motion man. Leledusky, quick out to McCown. One hops it incomplete. And now we got a flag for a late hit on Kyle Harrington, who wrestled McCown down to the turf after his whistle incomplete. Harrington may have thought it was a lateral pass and tried to keep playing it, but that's the kind of penalty that'll be 15 yards and a first down.
You know, this is football. This isn't patty cake. Face mask. Face mask.
Well, either way, it's still in that personal foul category that gives Iowa a first down. And yet again, that is now the 4th time tonight the Rattlers have given up a first down. Check that, 5th on a penalty. So 1st and 10 of the 21. Schmidt, the motion man, and we got another flag here. And this looks like it'll be another false start. Possible defensive encroachment, not sure.
Possible.
Question is, did Harrington move a little bit early? But if so, they wouldn't have blown it dead.
It's against the Rattlers. Delay of game by the defense.
That's a new one. I have never heard of delay of game on the defense.
What did the defense do? Why would the defense be held for delay of game?
I am not sure. I'd have to go back and look at the tape on that one, because that's surprising. So 1st and 5 at the Arizona 24. A couple penalties up and the Barnstormers get down the field. Schmidt in motion. Leledusky fires it right to Ellingworth. He gets pushed up against the boards at the 21 by a couple of Rattlers. Gray and McCullough on the stop, and it winds up being a gain of 3.
You know, all Iowa is doing is just these short passes, and you know, the Rattlers they're shooting themselves in the foot. You know, we talked about that with the penalties that they've been taking, and especially in the last 5 games, I'd say they've really been taking a lot of stupid penalties. Let's say that.
Leledusky with the pass over to Ellingsworth. He gets away from McCullough. McCullough grabs him by the ankle, though, knocks him down to 14. It's a first down for the Iowa Barnstormers.
You know, I'm sure Coach Kevin Guy has talked to his team about these penalties that they've been taking, but you know what? They're not stopping it. You know, you can get away with it. You can get away with it with subpar teams. But when you start facing a team that with talent, you are going to lose.
Ellingworth, the man in motion. Leledusky looking right. Under a little bit of pressure, trying to roll away. He's going to throw this up off the net. Live ball. And Marquise Floyd had a free shot to pick it off, and he backed away from it.
What was that about?
I'm sorry, Vince Hill, I believe, had the shot to pick it off, but that was most unusual. So that goes down as a very unusual incompletion. And it's second and 10 of the 12.
I don't understand that one. That one looked like it was easily picked off.
And there were two Rattlers down there on coverage that could have gotten that ball. Hamilton, the man in motion. Lee Ledusky dropping back. Fires it for Schmidt. Gets away from one tackler, but not the second. Gets knocked down inside the 5 at about the 3. It's a gain of 9 and brings up 3rd and 1.
One thing is they're chewing up the clock here. Only 3 minutes to go here.
It's 3rd and about 1 on the 3 of the Rattlers. And again, Iowa gets bogged down here. Rattlers need a stop. McCown, Schmidt down to the bottom of the screen. Hamilton will be the man in motion. Lee Ledusky looking left. Pumps. Throws it to the end zone for Schmidt. Is he in? Signal. Yes. He's in for a touchdown. And we've got an injured Barnstormers down on the play. That's going to be the running back, Filer. So it's 42-33. Iowa now down by 9. PAT coming. And we didn't see what happened to Filer on that play, but he is shaken up.
All right, and, after all the injuries, it looks like Iowa sustained tonight. They're going to have trouble beating the Little Sisters of the Poor next week.
They've been beat up all season on the injury front.
Yeah.
So Lee Ledusky, the quarterback, is also the holder on the PAT that Nick Pertwee is going to try and put through the uprights here. I tell you, if Pertwee misses this one, this is going to be huge. Making it a 2-possession game instead of a 1.
How huge will it be?
Very. Snap is a little bit high. Lee Ledusky pulls it down. Pertwee hits it. So it's a 1-possession game, 42-34. 2:21 left in the third quarter. This is Pro Sports Broadcasting on Nifty.
Now, please direct your attention to Rad TV.
Starting to get a little close here.
Yep, it sure is. And let's see what Rattlers can do now. The whole thing is no penalties. Very good. You know where I was going with that one.
Well, when Arizona's given Iowa 5 first downs by penalty tonight,
Yeah.
in almost 3 quarters, they've got to cut those out. So Gray's going to be back to return this. Pertwee will tee it up. And it seems like since Lee Ledusky came in for Iowa, Barnstormers are playing a little bit better. Pertwee tees it up. Gray back to return it. Into the slack net, off the overhang, and that's one way to take him out of the game. It's a touchback to the 5 because of the ground rules, and that's where Arizona starts this next drive.
Well, that's the only way you can slow Virgil Gray down, I think.
But you're not going to be able to slow them down in the fourth quarter because Iowa will kick the other direction where there is no overhang to shield them.
That's right.
So what do Davila and company have up their sleeves? Windsor to the bottom, Geathers to the top, and it's going to be Glenn Fox, the motion man. And it's inside handoff to Odie. Odie gets around a corner and gets a couple yards before getting knocked down.
Oh, what do we got going here now?
Not quite sure what the hubbub's about.
There's been pushing and shoving on just about every play, it seems like.
So it's going to be 2nd and 8 at the 7, gain of 2 for Odie.
I see Geathers getting the ball right now.
Well, Geathers on the top of the screen, Windsor on the bottom again. Fox in motion. Davila drops back. Fires it for Geathers. It's
No, it's
Windsor.
actually Windsor, yeah.
Windsor catches it over the wall but keeps his feet in bounds.
And look who is wide open down here.
Chasing Geathers.
You know, one thing, Davila, he's a great quarterback, and he's been phenomenal this year. Tonight, he isn't seeing the open receiver.
Fox in motion, Windsor at the top of the screen, and we've got flags because we had early motion. And the Iowa Barnstormers say it's on them. Brent Curvey jumped a little early. Yep.
Yep.
It is indeed on Curvey. 1st and 5 coming up for the Rattlers from their own 22. Down to the final minute of the third quarter, 51 seconds and rolling left to go in the third.
Is that Curvey or Curvey?
Curvey, according to what the Barnstormer broadcaster told us before the game. Davila drops back, looking, finds
wide
the open man.
open.
That's going to be Geathers down to the 10, cutting inside through defenders down to the 7.
I've been waiting for Geathers all night. There we go.
That's a 15-yard gain. It's a first down, and now it's going to be 1st and goal at the Iowa 7. At the 8.
We might be in whoop whoop Odie territory.
Woot, woot. That's, it's been a while since we've had a Rattler touchdown. Last possession ended with the stop there, but see what happens here. Fox in motion. Davila drops back, looking right, fires.
Wide open.
And that's Geathers into the end zone for the touchdown, Arizona. There you go. You called Geathers, you got Geathers.
Finally, you got to get Geathers in there, and don't be surprised now if you see the Rattlers go to Geathers a lot more as we get down here, and we will be going into and heading into the fourth quarter right after the Rattlers go for the PAT.
48-34 the score now. Scott Gion for the PAT. We'll call it a snap. Snap's good, spot's good, hold good. Scotcha wide left.
Wow.
14-point game with 1 quarter to go. It's 48-34 Arizona, and this is Pro Sports Broadcasting on Nifty. Welcome back to the Snake Pit in Phoenix. It's 48-34. Arizona leading Iowa as we start the fourth quarter. Arizona ended the third quarter with a touchdown, but Fabrizio Scotch's extra point was wide left. So
yeah, you don't see him miss too many of those either.
No, he does not. But one thing to note here before we go into the fourth, Nick Davila, 227 yards and 5 scores tonight. Doing a nice job moving the ball around. 5 different receivers with a touchdown.
Yeah, sorry.
That's all right.
You know, but I'm glad to see him starting to get Geathers in the game here.
Geathers with 5 catches for 73 yards officially, and that 1 touchdown that he just had there. But again, nice, distribution by Davila tonight, especially without having the services of Trandon Harvey, who was usually good for 3 to 4 touchdowns a game. Doing a real nice job keeping the Iowa Barnstormers guessing. Gotcha ready to tee it up to open the fourth quarter.
Here comes the onside kick.
Eric McCown's back deep to return for Iowa. And Scotcha hammers it deep. Off the awning, and that's going to be a touchback.
Yep.
McCown a little bit unhappy with that because he thought he had himself a halfway decent lane, but those are the ground rules.
Yeah, that's, you can't really do anything about it. That's that overhang here. And unfortunately, it hits that quite a bit.
It's because it really bulges out so far. That's just the rules of the building.
I guess you could make this end zone a little bit shorter, but, I guess that wouldn't be fair.
No. Lee Ledusky, quick swing pass out to Jesse Schmidt. At the 10, he gets knocked off his feet by Vince Hill. It's a gain of about 5 or 6 yards. And it'll be second and middle length distance for Iowa coming up here. They give him out to the 12, a gain of 7.
Well, let's see a stop here. This game's starting to it's way too close for me right now.
2 touchdown lead is nice, 3 would be better. Schmidt the motion man. Ledusky dropping back. Firing deep for Schmidt. Gray covering, and that is knocked away by Virgil Gray. A nice defensive play, and it's going to be 3rd and 2. And correct me if I'm wrong, Kingpin, but that was the first deep ball we've seen of more than 20 yards tonight by the Barnstormers.
I think there was one other, but that got broken up also.
So it's 3rd down on the Iowa 12, 3 yards to go. And maybe now this is where the Rattlers start rising up defensively and, again, above all else, avoid the bad penalties.
Yes, too many penalties.
The bad ones are the ones that give Iowa the first downs. Lee Ledusky passes tip, caught by McCown, short of the sticks. He stopped. Pittman was able to get his paw up and deflect that one. Hill's over there to knock McCown against the boards a yard short, and it's going to be 4th and 1 from the 14.
He has a paw?
Yes, he does have a paw. I checked. So 4th and 1 at the 14. Iowa's obviously got to go for it, down 2 scores. 13 minutes to play. And without having Banks in the game, it takes away the running aspect from the quarterback because Lee Ledusky is just not that quick. In motion is going to be Hamilton. Lee Ledusky rolling to his right, looking for someone to throw to. Fires it to nobody in particular. That's incomplete, and they've got a Rattler defensive stop. They've got the ball at the Iowa 14.
Well, here is the Rattlers' chance right here. Time to put them away. 12:50 to go.
You start the drive with excellent field position. The 3rd time in the last 4 drives, the Rattlers have started inside the Iowa 15-yard line. The first one ended up in a touchdown. The second one actually was moved back by a penalty, but that one ended up being that 4 and out. So, ideally, the Rattlers, if they can get a touchdown here and make this a 3-score game, are really going to put the pressure on the Barnstormers.
And it's going together right now. Again.
Geathers has been finding himself open quite a bit tonight, and he has actually been putting himself together.
And there's actually a timeout.
All right, we'll take it too. This is Pro Sports Broadcasting on Nifty.
Passes to one row of Rattler fans. Prepare to be treated if you happen to be seated in Section 115, Row 11. Congratulations, the Rat Pack is on the way with free meal passes, compliments of Old Country Buffet, the dining choice of your Arizona Rattlers.
Back in the U.S. Airways Center, Arizona leads at 48-34 and just made a big stop of the Iowa Barnstormers on 4th down. Arizona has the ball in the Iowa 14, up by 14, looking to put another touchdown on the board and really put the pressure on Iowa as the Rattlers look for win number 11 on the season.
And you know what? Now they've got to a point where they have to match the wins of Jacksonville.
Jacksonville won earlier tonight over Orlando, 68-67. Sharks are 11-1 this year. Davila drops back, quick pass to Geathers at the 10 of the 5. Is he in the end zone? Yes, he is. Touchdown, Arizona. You called it.
Another Geathers. There we go. We got him in the game now.
14-yard touchdown pass, 20-point lead for the Rattlers.
I've been calling a lot of stuff tonight. Man, I am on. And I'll tell you what, if you guys wrote down those lottery numbers, bet on them.
Why not?
Did you write them down?
No, I didn't.
Now, how can I play them? Because I forgot what I said.
I hate when that happens. So Scotch is going to come on for the extra point. 54-34, Rattlers lead it, 12 minutes to go. McCullough the snapper, Harris the holder. Snap's good. Scotch off the left upright. That's not as damaging, though, because it's a 20-point game, and the Rattlers still hold that lead. Let's take a timeout on the... let's take a timeout. It's Pro Sports Broadcasting on Nifty. I'm getting tongue-tied.
Contest time to get in the stands. Time for the Rattlers question of the night. And once again, here's your host, JP of the Rat Pack.
Thank you very much, Jeff. Let's meet tonight's contestant, Francisco. Answer tonight's question correctly, and you will receive an Arizona Rattlers prize pack. Here's the question, Francisco. What sport does quarterback Nick Davila play the worst? A, golf, B, tennis, or C, plays everything well? Think it over a second, fans, help him out. Okay, what's your answer? C. He says C. Let's check out Rat TV and see if you're a winner.
Here. The sport I play the worst is, I'm saying I'm good at every sport there is.
Woo! You are correct, and you just won a great Rattlers prize pack. Thanks for winning.
Back in the U.S. Airways Center, Arizona leads 54-34 with 11:49 to go. A quick touchdown pass to Jason Geathers from 14 yards out. The only downside was that Fabrizio Scaccia missed the extra point, the second in a row he has. But it's still a 20-point lead.
I don't know. They might have to get another kicker. Ha ha.
That's the other team who's already had 5.
Right, exactly. I knew that.
Okay. So the Rattlers are getting their groove on in the end zone during that little timeout, getting the fans pumped up as well. I think they were doing the Dougie.
Is that what it was?
I believe it was a Dougie sighting. But hey, when you're up by 20 and you're about this close to clinching the division, yeah, why not?
Right. It's time to rise for your Rattlers.
So Scotch is going to kick it deep. Ellingworth is going to take his shot at returning it this time. And just be another couple seconds here. We wait for the TV timeout to end. There we go. And away we go. Scotcha hammers it deep. That's going to be playable off the net. Ellingworth to his right at the goal line, cuts right at the 5, runs into McCullough at the 10 and gets run into the boards. Nice defensive coverage there, and Iowa starts on their 10-yard line.
With 11:39 to go here, let's just stop them. Let's pick it off. Let's run one in.
And we've got a holding call on Iowa, so instead of being at the 10, it's going to be back at the 5. Even better. So 1st and 10 on the Iowa 4-yard line, correction there. And the Barnstormers have a long way to go, both on the field and the scoreboard.
Oh, yeah.
Schmidt, the man in motion. Lee Ledinsky dropping back. Looking, fires it right side to Hamilton. Slips out of one tackle, doesn't get away from McCullough. Gets back to the original line of scrimmage, free penalty. Gain of 5, and it's going to be 2nd and 5.
Again, these short little passes aren't going to do anything when you're down 20 points here with 11 to go. You need to start throwing this ball.
You got to be more vertical with your passing attack. And Iowa, we haven't seen too much of it out of them yet. Schmidt in motion. Lee Ledinsky drops back. Multiple flags thrown. Now he goes up top for his man. He's got it in the end zone. It's a touchdown for Jesse Schmidt.
And Virgil Gray missed it, but that is a penalty on the Rattlers.
Well, there are multiple flags thrown. This could be a legal defense, but we'll see what the call is.
During the play, all sides, by the defense, number 77. Penalty decline. Number of plays, touchdown.
Told you.
Yep, 41-yard touchdown pass to Jesse Schmidt. And just like that, Iowa's back within 14 with 10:45 to go.
And Virgil Gray just missed picking that one off.
Got his hands up on it, but couldn't quite reel it in. Now, the other thing to think about here is that if Pertwee hits the extra point, this is a 13-point game. Now it's Scotcha who might be haunted by the missed extra points, if it comes to that.
Could be.
Kick is up. Pertwee is good. 54-41. 10:33 to go on this one. Timeouts. This is Pro Sports Broadcasting on
Direct your attention on Around TV for tonight's Internet Technologies hit of the game. That hit on the quarterback by number 77, Artez Wolford, is tonight's Internet Technologies hit of the game.
out. Iowa's finally going vertical, and they're getting back in this one just a little bit. Still have a long ways to go on the clock and on the scoreboard.
We do. We do. I mean, that was a, quick score right there, right? So you're only 7 down here. You might see an onside kick.
I don't think so, being down 13 with 10 minutes to go. It's still a lot of time. But
13, I'm sorry.
Yeah, but Virgil Gray is deep. And we got a chip shot kind of onside kick. That one is fielded by Gray at the 12. cuts left, gets away from a tackle, gets away from another one. Third man snows them under at the 15. That's where the Rattlers start on their own 15-yard line. And Vince Hill's wanting a flag thrown. Jason Geathers wants a flag thrown. They're not getting it.
You know, and that's the second time that that Iowa's tried that little chip shot. Hasn't worked both times, but
the pooch kick, it's one way to get the ball back on an onside, but you never know.
I call it a chip shot.
I call it the pooch. So Rattlers have...
I didn't hear it barking.
All right, Windsor on the bottom of the screen, Geathers on the top, and again it's going to be Glenn Fox in motion. Give to Odie. Odie running left, 15, 20.
Don't hit anybody, Odie.
And the only thing that stopped Odie from going about 3 rows deep in the stands was the wall.
We got a Rattler down. Getting up slow.
And it's going to be offensive lineman Devin Clark, who's a little shaken up, but he's back in the huddle and he's doing okay. Gain of 6 for the Odie Express. 2nd and 4 coming up for the Rattlers. Windsor and Fox to the top, Geathers to the bottom. Nobody in motion. Well, there goes Geathers. Pitch over to Geathers. Cuts inside 20. Trying to get across midfield, but gets dragged down by Chris Singleton with about a 2-yard gain.
Do you understand the play calling right here with these running plays with still this much time to go?
Not quite sure on that, but we'll see what Kevin Guy has up his sleeve here. 3rd and 2 on the 23.
Not that the Rattlers won't go for it with 2 plays to go here yet.
Fox again in motion. Dalva drops back. Plenty of time to pass. Fires it. Fox has it at the Iowa 20. Gets down to the 16 and has a first down.
I guess he was just running those plays to take some time off the clock.
Very well could be. It's going to be 1st and 10 at the Iowa 17. Gain of 10 on that play. And the Rattlers keep right on moving with a 3rd down conversion. Windsor to the top. Fox in motion. Geathers near the formation. Dalva drops back, looking right, has time, finds Geathers. Inside the 15, down towards the 10, where he gets pushed out of bounds by Hamilton. Going to be gain of about 7. And that's going to bring up a 2nd short for the Rattlers. Attendance tonight was 86-64. Not too far off there, Kingpin. 84-31, good guess.
So what was it, 86-64?
Yeah.
So I missed it by a couple of hundred?
Yeah.
How about that?
Dalva drops back. How about that pass around Windsor into the end zone? Touchdown, Arizona!
How about that pass? There we go.
13-yard touchdown pass. Rattlers back up by 19.
That was the rattlesnake.
Extra point coming from Scotch. He's got to try and get these a little bit
straighter. Let's see if Scotch can get this. He's been automatic most of his time here.
Try and get it back to a 20-point lead. That's better.
Oh, yeah.
Splits the upright. 61-41 Rattlers with 7:09 to go. This is Pro Sports Broadcasting on Nifty. U.S. Airways Center, the Arizona Rattlers lead by 20, 61-41. Last touchdown coming from Nick Davila to Rod Windsor from 13 yards out. Windsor's 2nd score of the evening. And it restores a 20-point lead, making this a 3-possession game. And the Barnstormers are on the short end of the stick.
Well, how about drilling the ball out of the stadium? How's that? I like that.
Okay, whatever works. Scott going to kick it off. Back is McCown.
Oh my God.
That is high off the net. McCown's able to field it and run with it, cutting left, and winds up running into Odie Armstrong and Kevin McCullough. They knock him down at the 7, and that's where Iowa starts. And I believe we have a flag down. There's some pushing and shoving.
Yeah, pushing and shoving.
Shoving and pushing.
There's pushing and shoving and shoving and pushing and pushing and shoving after every play now, and has been almost all this game.
So Iowa's going to start at its own 9-yard line. Inside 7 minutes to go. A 20-point Arizona lead.
He almost did kick that one out of the stadium, didn't he?
Yeah, he hit that real high off the net.
Very high.
Schmidt the motion man. Liladowski dropping back. Has time. Fires it behind Marquise Hamilton. And that's going to be incomplete, bringing up second down. Liladowski a little bit late with the throw there.
Yeah, way behind him. Did I ever tell you how much I like their goggle helmets?
Yeah, definitely one of a kind. Schmidt again, the motion man, in the middle of the formation. Liladowski drops back, quick slant pass over to Ellingsworth. Cuts through one defender, doesn't get past the second one. That's going to be Swanson, who hauls him down at the 15, a gain of 6, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 4. So 3rd and 4 coming up here. Rattlers trying to find another defensive stop. Ellingworth to the top, Schmidt in motion. The count on the bottom of the formation. Drops back, quick pass over. Actually, that's going to be to Hamilton. He gets out near the first down.
And I think he got it. Yeah, he did.
Got it by a yard or two.
That was a good play by him, actually stretching that ball out to get the first down.
And that's one of those times when it's okay to do so because there's not a whole lot at risk, but he got the necessary 5 yards.
But, again, you're down 20 points. What are you doing throwing the ball short?
Got to be more vertical. Liladowski dropping back. Has time, fires it. That one's going a little bit deeper for Hamilton. That's incomplete. 2nd and 10. Clock still running inside of 5 minutes at 4:46, 45, 44, and so on. Iowa's really starting to run out of time here. They got to run more of a hurry-up offense, being down 20 points.
Hurry up and throw it downfield.
Ladowski pass is deflected. McCullough couldn't get there in time to get the interception. But yet again, there's Pittman with his hand up, deflecting the ball. Second time tonight he's done so.
Well, this quarterback is much taller than the starter, but still, the Rattlers were able to knock that pass down.
So a critical 3rd down here at the Iowa 20, 3rd and 10 for the Barnstormers. Ellingworth the motion man this time. Liladowski, quick hitch underneath the Hamilton. He's got the first down as he gets tackled by Floyd and Swanson at the Arizona 17.
But still, not taking shots for touchdowns. Keeping the clock moving for the Rattlers.
So it's a gain of 12, and again, the Barnstormers have got to get moving a little bit quicker here. 3.5 to go, down by 20. Liladowski dropping back, has some time, fires it for the end zone. It's going to go off the net, and Gray cannot get there to box out Schmidt and make the pick, but it'll fall incomplete for 2nd down.
That looks like a planned play, actually.
Yeah.
Because it was so far overthrown.
Now again, Iowa's got to get the lead out, and this favors the Rattlers as Iowa keeps kind of slogging along. Ellingworth at the bottom, Hamilton at the top, Schmidt the motion man. Liladowski quick out over to Ellington. Ellingworth,
Nice
excuse
tackle.
me. Riley Swanson with a good open field tackle, limits that to a 2-yard gain.
Very nice tackle. Let's see if they show a replay on that one.
3rd and 8 coming up here. And Glasper is coming up limping a little bit. We also have a stop. Also, the clock is stopped too. And I'm not quite sure why. Glasper had to come out of the game. He's going to be replaced by Marcus Tillman for at least this one play. Iowa so far has converted a couple of 3rd downs on this drive to keep it going, but 2.5 minutes remain. Lee Ledusky dropping back, has time. He's going to throw that one deep for Schmidt. Too far. Gray couldn't get a hold of that as it sailed over the boards, and it's now going to be 4th down.
And a sight that we haven't seen too often this game is but another Iowa quarterback on his back.
Well, 4th and 7 on the 16-yard line of the Rattlers. Iowa clearly having to go for it. And at this point, they got to be thinking end zone because getting the 1st down isn't going to do a whole lot of good. Lee Ledusky drops back, has some time, fires it for Schmidt in the end zone off the net, picked off. That's going to be Floyd out of the 5, cutting right to the 10, flag down to the backfield. That's going to be after the interception, though, so the Rattlers are going to still have the ball. But we'll see what the flag's for after the interception happened.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure what the flag was for.
It could have been, I don't know.
And let's go down to the ref.
Excellent interception. Illegal block by the offense. Number 11, there's no decline. No interception. First down.
It's an illegal block on Iowa. Doesn't matter. Rattlers have the ball. 1:47 left and a 20-point lead. So now Davila is going to ride the pine for the rest of the night, and we're going to see some Trevor Harris at quarterback. Back up in for Arizona. Get him some playing time. And the officials are still discussing something.
What are they discussing?
I'm not sure.
Are they discussing something?
Well, no idea what it is, but they are all huddled up there at the 23-yard line. All right, I think we got it all settled out there. So the Rattlers have the ball 1st and 10 on their 23, leading by 20, 95 seconds to go. Windsor on the top, Getters on the bottom, and it's going to be Reed in motion. Play fake over to Windsor. Screen pass there, gets around a couple defenders, across the 25 and out to about the Iowa 20, gain of about 7 on the play. That should be enough to take us down to the 1-minute warning, and it is. Ball spot at the Iowa 21. And indeed, there it is, the 1-minute warning. So let's take a timeout here. Rattlers are in command up by 20. This is Pro Sports Broadcasting on Nifty. The SaberCats, a win there, and we will see the Rattlers crowned Western Division champions for 2011.
Yeah, with just with many weeks to go.
But there's still more to play for because there'll be a game and a half up on Chicago for the number 1 seed in the National Conference. Keep in mind, though, Chicago has that head-to-head win over the Rattlers right here about a month ago.
You know, when I saw the attendance tonight, and I guessed that it was 84-31, I almost said just what it was, 86-30.
Wow. We are just right on tonight.
We've been calling them tonight,
Yeah.
that's for sure.
Harris drops back, goes underneath to the tight end. Booker gets away from one tackle, backs his way to the 15-yard line. I believe that's going to be enough for a first down. It is.
Well,
so down to the Iowa 15. And the clock continues to run, 36 seconds. Fox to the bottom, Geathers in the middle. Reed's going to go in motion. Windsor's out of the game right now. Pitch to Odie. Odie running left at the 15 to the 10. Barrels over a defender for an extra yard and gets down inside the 10 to about the 9. It's going to be a gain of 6 there. 2nd and 4 at the 9. And hey, Odie Armstrong sets the new record for the Rattlers for rushing yards in a season. And that is going to do it. The final 5 seconds tick away, and the Arizona Rattlers have defeated the Iowa Barnstormers 61-41.
It didn't do it again. Stop it with that cannon. All right, that's it here. We're going down for post game. Take care,
Arizona
guys.
11-2.